Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to get a ball rolling right here this evening. This is All Things Considered. We're going to be having a conversation. Analysts has already assembled. We will be having a conversation here, but tonight's program is a special one, special in the sense that we will try to remember someone who has contributed immensely. And it's kind of a little personal here because I've been knowing her very, very well for a couple of years now. Never had a privilege to really meet her in person, but I've been doing what she's doing. We are help in different forms, fundraiser, to promote Liberian music as well. And that is the late Minister Jemimah Walcott, traditionally called the Princess of Nima Gospel Sons. She passed our understanding on Sunday. So that is very, very sad. Welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's get the ball rolling right here and right now. Will be right here. Good evening. Thank you so much for sharing your evening with us right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. I am your host and presenter, Alfonso and so right here this evening. Okay, let me just remove this here. And I'm going to bring in Jerry back on while he's here. So I'm going to do a little bit tabata here this evening. Mr. Bacon is here. Mr. Bacon, good evening. It's good to have you here. And you're looking good. Good to have you. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Okay. Excellent. Good to be back on this show. I've been watching it from the different views, but I'm glad I'm back. Happy to be back. And it's a Saturday.
Are you hearing me?
For us, the Liberian people, such an individual who have contributed tremendously. Yeah, loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay. So tonight,
so it's a Saturday, but anyway, question call.
Yes, and I just want you to be here as well because I was shocked. The late Minister Jemimah Walcott, a fine Liberian gospel artist, been knowing her for a couple of years, but I've never had a privilege to meet her. I want to do a tribute here because she proved to be someone good. And let me just do this here. This is the last that we can do. This is one of her favorite songs, God Fight My Battle.
It's T-Will on the beat.
Yahweh, yeah, Yahweh, yeah, Yahweh, yeah, Yahweh, Yahweh, come for my rescue. Yahweh, fight my battle, Jesus, fight my battle, Yahweh, fight my battle, fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battles, Jesus, fight my battle, Yahweh, fight my battle, fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battle, Jesus, fight my battle, Yahweh, fight my battle, fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battle. This battle is so heavy for me, no. I cannot fight it alone, no. You promised to fight it for me, no. Yeah, fight my battle, Jehovah, fight my battle, man. Clipper, fight my battle, fight it and make me a winner. What kind of life when you're living? When I apply for trouble, can I get it? What kind of life am I living today?
All right, this is that's the voice of the late Minister Jemima to walk out Nima Gospel Princess, a very known person. Understanding she passed away this Sunday. And like I said, this is someone that I've been knowing for years. I never had the privilege to meet her. I've talked and I very authentic. Let me just bring in the label here. It's very personal because sometimes when you know people, you know them to prove good. You want to admit that I was shocked when I got that news. I talked to her manager, and in fact, it came like a Sunday. And then it was kind of like pushing around the same day where it happens, where she has gone to perform in Nima. According to what we gather, it happens on stage. The manager since he was in tears. Because I just couldn't believe it because bear in mind, the labor was dead. 2000 what? Kind of a little bit upset when my mom passed away. She did a song, and because I wanted her to perform, I got to know her through our own Manzola, Dancing with Jesus gospel songs, always plays. And I kind of got in touch. I said, well, who's this person here? He said, oh, she's a gospel artist. And I managed to reach out to her on YouTube, and she responded. And since we became friends, we have talked and did a lot of things. In fact, up to last week, Friday, 11 was either Thursday or Friday, because when my mother passed away, and I wanted for somebody to have done a gospel song. And she said, oh, I can do it. You say you're going to be missing, crying. I say, it doesn't matter. I just want a gospel song. Literally 1 week for me to go to Liberia. There was some sort of something. So I don't know. I mean, the devils can just be based. Let me just bring in Dr. Jones here as well. Some sort of accident occurred. The story is very long that I'm not going to talk. And she could not honor that. And she called me, hey, this is the situation. So I said, okay, don't bother. Then she said, no, America, that when people sometimes they ask you, a lot of people are spoil our name. When people ask you to do something, you don't do it, they give excuse. But I'm telling you, this lady was sick. She could not. I said, no, don't worry about that. Your health is important. Song, it can be a memorial song. It doesn't matter. To my surprise, this lady, she dragged herself in studio because she wanted to prove authentic. She wanted to prove a genuine person, even though she sent me a picture of how her legs. And this is the song she did for my mother.
Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, Mama, rest in peace. Mama, we say rest on. We say rest on, Mama. We say rest well. Take your rest, Mama. Mama, till we meet again. When we ain't my way, we say rest on. We say rest on. Mommy, we say rest on. Mama, we say rest on. We will miss you, Mama. Mama, we say rest well. We say rest well, Mother. Mama, till we meet again. Our eyes are full of tears. We say rest on. We say rest well. Mother, better we miss you. Mama, your children are crying you. They are grieving and they are looking for you. They want to touch you, they want to feel you, they want to play with you. Mother, look around. What
That was the song. And like I said, since 2022, 23, we've been talking up to last week. So we were kind of that really connected, and I like a sort of style, always keeping the culture out of our country, You will always see her when you go on Facebook, her dressing, her songs, traditional songs, and stuff like that. Only to get to know this girl Sunday, where she has gone to. In fact, a lot of news filtering in. There was some severe accidents and all sort of that. And when I talked to her, I couldn't believe that. And I sent a message in because that green light, because they were saying different person and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure what happened. I think I talked to Oliver on that. When I sent the message, the next thing I saw the phone call coming. Yeah. So, I know the phone call came. Pick up the phone call, thinking you're going to be on the contract. The manager burst into tears. Mr. So, Jemima is no more. Jemima died right on stage. He had a long, some story to explain. I just couldn't believe it. Even up to yesterday, we were on. Because we had just had a conversation. Oh, I'm ready to get the video versions of your mom's phone. Just send me the names of other pictures going to be embedded into it. So quite just gone. And the thing about it, her mother is, I think, some is impaired. That is everything about her mother. And that's one of the things. Anybody who likes your mother, who caring, and beyond that, Lpr, I just want to bring you in here very quickly. Beyond that, she maintained that friendship in the Gen 1 to Gen 1 faction. And my mom was sick literally on her dying bed. We were just also a conversation. I said, "Oh, Minister, I'm not feeling too good today. My mom is sick." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yes." Well, I said, "Oh, she's in Monrovia." I said, "Which hospital?" I just because she said, "I want to go there." I said, "I just tell me the wrong." Like, okay. And she did. She went there. After she got there, the next thing I saw, as soon as she left from there, this is the picture. My mom said, that was JFK Hospital. She said, "So I want to see Mama, I pray." And I talked to the old man. So, oh, one lady came here. She prayed. After that prayer, I felt very good. So, there are some really good people. But just it's touching. 2 times my mom passed away. My daughter mother went to abroad. That food was something I never saw her. We never had a chance to see because she was sick. We were treating her, and people could not go there, and all of that. But anyway, it is why it is. Liberal.
Yeah, Mr. So I too never had a privilege to meet her, but her goodness to friendship is beyond everything else because that picture was also shared with me. And when you play those music, especially the music about mother, I've always believed that that music from her was very genuine in that she was able to see the lady she was thinking about. And I think she was able to form some sort of a picture of her, of the old mom. And so when she was singing, I believe those pictures were being reflected truly in the song. And she's for some reason I'd never met her either. But I think because we're very much connected with even the LPR, the station manager in Liberia is from Nima County. Most of the young people that go on as LPR reporters are from Nima County. In fact, at one time, LPR was in collaboration with radio, I think Radio Ganta or some one other radio. So we are very connected. But for some reason, when we went for the burial, we were not able to. I was not able to see her as
That's
well.
the time. It was like 3-4 days before we all could leave from here. Whatever thing, very long story. Therefore, she could not move. But just still with that, she dragged because I gave her the rendezvous and she was to be there with the other gospel artists to perform and everything. But she said, "This is a situation." I said, "Okay, don't worry about that. That's okay. I mean, nothing's for you. It can be done. Your health is for yet then still you saw her holding that cast.
Right. And the night of the wake keeping, I remember over there in I think it was the road towards the town towards Rafi Highway over there. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
Juazan. where you guys all the many of the gospel singers were there that night, and I'm sure if she was if it wasn't for her foot, she would have been there as well, because we have our own gospel singer, the Lpr-Tv was there, and few other notable gospel singers were there at the time. But again, this is life. That's we are gonna go one way, sooner or later. We are gonna go. But the thing about her, I think she had made her mark. As young as she was, and people from all over the world are able to recognize her. If you go on Google and just type gospel singer from Nima County, woman gospel singer, her name as a prince, a gospel singer from Nima County will come up on Google, and so she's known all over, I would say. But it's very sad. I also believe that she's very connected with her mother, and so that is the much hurtful part of it, because the mom is old, and many of us, our culture believe that the child should be the one to bury your parent and not the other way around. It's very, very painful to see the other way around. And so our prayers are with the family and the brothers and sisters from Nima County. We share one common goal, the sinking between Nima and Crown. And Grand Jide, it's always been there. From white time when I was little, back in the days. So we've always been together. And so again, our sympathies go to this lady and family members. It's very sad.
Okay, all right. Joe Bacon is in the house. Dr. Malik Jones. We are excited. The gentlemen are here. This is Friday. What, Friday or Wednesday? Wednesday. All things considered, my goodness, too much unfolding to new program or in a way. Gentlemen, good evening. So welcome. I mean, sorry, we have to insert this into it, but as a matter of fact, like I said, it's personal, some sort of personal connection, because regrettably, I never had a chance to see her physically. 2 or 3 times I went from the Oma, and then my wife, mother passed. I mean, it was just for some reason, Maria too is a crazy, and she's a very busy lady. Sometimes travel, go other places to, do things. This time last Sunday, understanding had gone to perform in Nima County. In fact, the manager did share that video, her last moment on the stage. She was the master of ceremony at the same time performing. Very sorry for story. Today, the first song, so just how artists, when you perform after you go change, they can put that whatever else, brought the clothes, dress, went by for the second song live on stage, according to him. And that's what I, because he was there. He took us there. They go everywhere. The next thing after that, just saw her going down, and that was it. Just that was it. Dr. Jones, good evening. So welcome. Let's get the ball rolling. We will continue to be in touch with the family and see what sort of last give, which it should have ended this way, but it is what it is. And I mean, just crazy. I just feel bad for that old lady who is every other day is in the hospital. It is that girl that her whole life. For wherever she goes after performing, it doesn't matter. She will jump running back to her mom who can see, and to find, it's like a lost person in the forest. Gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the show. Okay, let's return home here. So the Libra is here. Hopefully this evening, please, I'm not in a very good mood. I don't want too much of Tabata at the conversation here this evening. I intend to have this conversation. Everybody should understand that the Liberal Progressive, Jerry Boashin, please, Dr. Mali, we are always the voices of the people, independent, very objective. Please, no, all your Tabata should be table after tonight. I hope that will be okay, and the Liberal will understand that. Good evening. Jerry is working, and that means the ceasefire will never hold. Do we see him moving left and right? The ceasefire will never.
But see, let me just add to, sometime when we travel to the West, sometimes some of us are taken away and get disconnected from tradition and culture. But I believe strongly that despite our circumstances and our level of education and our lifestyle in the West, this is one thing that continue to be at our bedside every time. You know, this girl, looking at her condition, is so pathetic. I know sometimes she retrospect where she was being sheltered. She also look at her maternal upbringing, her devotion, her entire commitment, making her mother a project, you see. And what caused her to do these things is the kind of way our upbringing, that traditional upbringing, you know, and our culture. I think this is what really matters. So despite we being even eating in the white man kitchen, we are always reminded. There's a reason why our thrill when I saw the security analyst in that village and he get his peers work with him. He didn't have money to give them. He didn't have gold to share with them. But by just returning to where his neighbor's stream was once buried, despite all his sophistication, it means a lot. You know, it means a lot. It means we have a tradition that no matter the case, we will still hold up to it, no matter the circumstances, you see.
Right.
And so this thing is like they always appeal to our feelings as human beings. And we are just African. And we will just remain like that all the time because this is one gift we have and we can't just let it go. That girl story is so pathetic, you know. And it's like it's beyond description, to be very frank with you. And I really sympathize for her. You see, all her late talent is buried. It's like she used her mother as a project, focusing on her mother, even during her critical days, you know, seeing her in that stuff with her legs. She still had her mother. But again, what I noticed again, between the boys and the girls, I noticed the girls are always concerned about their traditional parent back home than the boys or the men. Even though we also chip in, but the girls, it's like it become a point of concentration, no matter what, you see. And so I just stick my heart all to the family and I just want to console them in the best way possible. And I wish they all have peace of mind. And it is what it is. We cannot question God, but I think she played her part. And you can see her by that bedside, you know, that alone, you know, it had tons and tons of messages for some of us who are still alive. What are we doing for our mother?
I don't know. You know, sometimes you can't question the old man. I don't know why some things that he can't post stuff to it. So, Mr. Barker, and I got a call from two of our correspondents from Nima who apparently, when you arrived, I think they were in that area. They said, "Oh, that the white beard guy there, the man king here, man, it was not easy." I said, "Yeah, you were supposed to stop." Yeah, the man is down to fight, man. He was moving everywhere. And people are doing this. Some people come, you know, they don't want the afraid of this. I say, yeah, you're on our side too. You're not trusted. So that why people that labor them when they go, then is you can't see them when they come back. I tell you can see them, but it was not the case. Okay, gentlemen, let's get the ball rolling. It's good evening. We'll try to do what we can do. That's part of this. But honestly, she was a very, very, very good person. She maintained that friendship in a very honest fashion. Not knowing somebody, you know, other people send money. So, oh, especially when she made that visit and to my mother when she was in her dying bed. Despite of her accident, she was still committed to do that son. And just last week, if I go back to my text messages at 11 or one day, just sent somebody something picture we are about to roll the video out. Out of the sudden, in less than 3-4 days, just get to the point. Guys, let's get a conversation. This is all things considered. The liberal, Mr. Bacon, let me just bring you in.
Yes, sir. You see,
What you guys
especially
doing to our
personally,
country?
what? What is it?
What you're doing to our country? What's going on?
About what?
Everything. Everything.
Well, let me start first. Today, like I said from the beginning, it's a hard day for us. Even though I never met her, I listened to most of her songs and stuff like that. It's very inspiring, especially someone who connected to our mother. I know I always say on the platform, a child from Biandoru to be in the state, to be on Liberian Public Radio. My mom so passionate. My mom so better to be where I am. So I'm very, very connected. I was very connected to my mom. May her soul rest in peace. So I know she had children, maybe, but she was connected to her mother, like your intro. But here's the thing I want to say to the bereaved family. When Jesus was resting on the boat as he was crossing, and he was resting and the boat started shaking. And everybody went to Jesus and said, Jesus, Jesus, Father, leader, leader. The boat is shaking and said, why you people can't have a little bit of faith? I know it is tough, but let us have a faith in God. He gave it to us. He take it away. I just want to leave this passage with you people. I know it is tough, but at the same time, have faith in God. She was somebody who was inspired by God, and she did God work. So let her have that faith. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's come back here. Notwithstanding, it doesn't mean that we're not going to push you guys here because yeah. So let's go in your photos. You were the last speaker. What are you considering this evening? What's
Well,
going
there are a
on?
couple of things. There are a couple of things I want to let's speak on first. The saga that going on at the Capitol building, where the former representative, let me say former representing the Yaka Koluba and the Speaker of the House. It is sad. It is very sad. Earlier, I want to mention the police department as well. See, you as a police officer, you are trained to maintain courageous in the face of danger. That's the first thing you enter the police academy. That's the first thing they will tell you. As a police officer, as you raise your hand as a cadet to protect life and property, to protect innocent against violator. That's the first thing you take as a cadet, as a police officer. You raise your right hand before you do all the constitution and all these things. Well, that's the first thing you do to protect and defend and to the thing. The honor school there is the in the face of danger. That means you shouldn't be panic. You shouldn't be panic. If you have the discretion of power, even if the speaker gave you the mandate and said to remove the car, it's legal to park. You say yes, sir. The car will be removed. But you, because he said go do this, and you as a police officer, as a trained police officer, is supposed to be trained, maintain courageous in the face of danger, and you break into the car. And here's the interesting part, folks. I want you to listen and listen very well. After all that, they break into the car. Now they brought the tow truck to tow the car from there. I think I put a video there. The speaker, after that, he went to the police station to file a complaint at the car. You should have done that first. I said, you are the third man.
That means he's not a left-hand speaker. That's simple. It is. It means he's not a left-hand guy speaker. That's it.
Well, he's the third man in control of our country. You should be the last person to make such a decision. You might not like Yeke Koluba. You might not like him, but treat him as your colleague. Somebody have to be responsible. Somebody have to be the leader. Somebody, like they say in America, somebody have to wear the pants. That means you are in control. Why would you want to do such a thing in our country? But here's the thing I want to say. They have to be very careful with Mr. Yeke Koluba. Let's go to June 20, 2017. The same thing happened. They tried to arrest him, and they say the phone gone in his car. After they took that car, the car was driven, it was never searched. They drove the car and they went to the police station. Now they say the phone or car, phone or gone in his car. They went to court. They were vindicated. The court said, so we had a legal process. They call search and seize. It is our responsibility. Search and seize. The next thing there is called urgency. One of that. Now come here. Let me just finish 1 second. Search and seize, and you had a responsibility as the urgency. The urgencies mean if the car had a bomb or anything suspect in that place, then you say, okay, we have to break in to save life and property. But no such. And I mean, I don't know. Our police but police get a lot of explanation to do. Thank you.
Okay. You see, you're still not hitting the point. And this is why I don't like about you guys. You started go and you hinking. I'm not sure whether the Lpr is sending you text, say, be watchful what you say, how you go about to talk. That's exactly you guys doing it. I told you I'm not in a very good mood here tonight. And do not take that as advantage and you think you're going to walk scar-free here. Because you started go and you, as usual, Tabata is start kicking in without you telling her exactly what should be done. Should we, before I go to Lpr here, and should we be talking about this kind of thing in this administration? Is that something anybody had a thought that would come to this point? Mr. Bako.
Yes, sir. That's what it is. There's a current event. So we have to talk about the current events, what's going on in the country, no matter what the situation, the good, bad, and ugly.
I mean, what I'm saying here, the nuclear of my conversation is that should we be experiencing this sort of unusual, considering who was there and the expectations? Is that something you ever imagined?
Oh no! You see, now you're going a different route. You are going a different. You see, don't be prejudicial. Don't be prejudicial, because you see, when you are prejudicial, that means you're going to miss a fight. Don't be prejudiced, because see, when you're prejudiced, that means you are biased. So to not come to the conclusion, whether because of recent bad news, to say whether we should be experiencing that we are human beings. Behavior change, people react differently. So this I think. So not anything to say, yes, we should be experiencing this. No, that's human being. We live in a human society. It's homogeneous. That's what we have. That's human behavior. People behave differently.
Are you embarrassed?
About what?
Just what you explain.
Of course, I'm embarrassed based upon the behavior of the police officer, the behavior of the speaker. I'm embarrassed. Yes, I am.
Okay, that's one thing. You're a good cop. Okay, let me come to the unstable, unbalanced. It's involved. The Liberal Progressive.
Mr. So, thank you very much for the show tonight, and I hope we will do well together and be able to understand that we all don't have all of the answers, but we're here to discuss an issue. With respect to what is happening in the House of Representatives, it's just to show you that this man does not have leadership skill. I can predict.
Who man, please be clear.
Well, Richard Coon.
Okay.
They left him speaker. I can assure you, and I will predict to you, Mr. So, that Richard Coon most likely will not earn President Barker's turn as speaker. Not that he's going to be harmed or anything, but he's going to be removed. Now, yes, most likely what I think will happen. The rule of law caucus and stuff, the people who are against him and what have you, they're not going to be the cause of him being removed. It is the members that are supporting him presently, because they're gonna get tired and get fed up with his unable to lead.
I just met.
Okay, they will be unable to steer him behaving the way he's behaving, because as long as he continue to do these kinds of stuff, the agenda, yeah, they can pass budget and get paid and what have you, but the true agenda that some of them might have in mind to help their people will not go through, because he will always be in the news for all the wrong reason. So as far as I'm concerned, He is not going anywhere. I just read something earlier today. And if you've been watching me for the last 10 years or so, about 5 years or so ago, the sons and daughters of Providence, I think they call themselves, every year they will gather at the grave site of the late President Tubert and the other family members. And immediately after that, I will take on the airwave and condemn their behavior. And I will continue to say that anytime I see them come up with something, I will respond, because they are not sincere and they are not in it for the peace. In that grave where they have Tobo buried, Lieutenant Bebo from the Total era, he's in our grave. Have they ever put his picture up? The man was died. The man was killed because of Tobo that night at the executive mansion. Have they ever put his picture up? They only counted 13 people that are buried in our grave. They're now the only 13. There was another soldier man that was killed the night Colonel Rayleigh was killed. There was another soldier man that was killed. His body is in there. Have they ever mentioned those people? No.
Yeah, but it's not working. I'm trying to turn this camera. It's not allowing me to.
We'll say good evening.
Maybe you're coming with Tabata. Why the camera said I want to
flip it around. Just turn it around.
Just flip it. Let me move you. Just out monitoring. Okay. Just flip.
Okay.
You're puppy there. You're not up to date with
quite recently, President Wakai, in the interest of unity, have decided to make this into a national conversation, to have President Doe the late President Doe and the late President Tubber to be buried properly. However, the sons and daughters of Providence, they're now stepping in again. That they're going to have to hire some sort of a specific forensic, whatever it is, to examine the bones. Are they afraid that some of the people that are in our grave will be buried with the president? Is that what they're afraid of? We're watching for it. And I would strongly advise the president, if these people are not careful, this is not going to bring unity. Most likely will create confusion, because it's not going to be done evenly. And if President Wakai wants it to be done evenly, look at the list they have of that committee. I didn't see any people who do grave digging and stuff like that, especially that are specialized in the area. I don't see any member in there. But that's not my issue. The sons and daughters of Providence that are now protruding themselves into this wonderful national conversation that the president is trying to have. It's what these people are trying to take it differently, and we will stay here and resist it. And I'll make that into my show daily. Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Okay. This is quite interesting, Dr. Mallet. So now they are trying to kind of like give me some booster to come back at the end. Hey, other man, you holding your jaw now. You think you are 2 seconds. Hey, I will talk what I want to talk. You see, this is all about leadership. And when we say, hey, you guys fry on us. The president, you came and make such a huge proclamation so that the nation, the government, which is a good thing, but there was no specific, there was nothing put in place. They didn't tell us how they're going to lead this thing. Besides, then another group of people coming in, they're going to do something. Let me bring in to Dr. Mali. Dr. Mali, do you have ever in mind that we're going to be coming to this point? The liberal and they try to be, want to be soft in here and there because they still want to hang on things here. You heard Jerry Bacon started as if he's so much against Abraham Campbell and disappointed. He didn't even start with the speaker. The first person name he called was Yeka Kaluba, when he should have started with the most adult, considering his position. Their left-hand guy that they brought in. You know, left hand is always a bad hand. Left hand is always involved in bad things, criminal things, and all of that. That man, and I agree with Labor, and I say it here and I will say it again. The thing they're looking for in that country, they will gun someone down. I'm saying it because too much of everything you guys are not following the history pattern that led to the civil crisis. Let me bring here another Washington nephew from Joe Biden. I know he advising now to Joe Biden from back on out to boycott to Joe Biden. Most good evening. But let me bring in Mr. Dr. Jones here. Dr. Jones, I never had a thought for us to be having this sort of conversation. I thought all our conversation would be more or less development oriented. We never had a thought you bringing development conversation on this network. Instead of them congratulating you, instead of them praising you every night here, they still don't get it. All they do, they smile, they kind of smile, but no vision. And that's how that guy is going. Let me bring you in.
Well, you know, every leadership has got their own style and a different approach to things. But I beg to ask so many questions on the issue. The first thing is that why these things are happening under the leadership of His Excellency President Joseph Boakai. This is why these things are happening. Yeah. Is it that we have a leadership vacuum? Is it that we have some psychological problem with the leadership in totality? Is it that the leadership lack perseverance? Is it that the leadership lack tolerance to cope with prevailing circumstances? These are some of the signs of bad governance.
And maybe to add to your list of laundry, now, is it insensitive to the reality of today's world that we need to implement some sort of tutoring process?
We're going to do our best here tonight to be very calm and allow you and your colleague to continue to railroad this whole process that you guys call for calm. The first thing you say, you're not doing tonight. You are allowing Dr. Malley now to come up with the pepper conversation, and we will respond in kind. I hope you understand that.
Okay, just hold your peace. When we come to you, then you carry on, Dr. Malley.
I just want for platform guests to understand that I have not indicted this government. I'm asking some simple question within line of our democratic dispensation.
Okay.
Why and why and why? Okay? Because I strongly believe that even the human rights, the top vector human rights that is situated in the executive mansion, he knows the difference between good governance and bad governance. He knows what constitutes good governance and what constitutes bad governance.
Samuel Kofi Rules, right?
Samuel Kofi Rules. I now wanted to call his name, but thank you.
We don't have anything here. JPC.
So my question now is, are we inheriting bad governance in another way? And my next question now is this part and parcel of the widespread intolerance to accommodate each other? Or we play politics with the lives of the Liberian people in the face of a fragile security networking in that country? Is it part and parcel of the culture of impunity at an advanced level? I yield.
So let's see here, because more or less there's a security connection to this, and we're good. We have two of our security experts, but who are very biased. And let's see here, they will unveil them true self with what is happening today. So Moses Simwit is a security expert. He has done a lot of articles about Helen Johnson, Sally, Amos Sawyer, and all of the list. Now, the Cuban president, Jose Newman Boyka. It looks like his
What?
is
What did you say? What did you say? What? Huh?
What? What is it? What?
No. What did you just say? So who president? Wakiba?
The Cuban president.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You see, this is what they do. They think they are the owner of Joseph Boyka, for which if you call his name, they behave like the sedition. And they say they are not. See how this guy, if I were closer to him, he would have gunned me down to God in heaven. That's exactly what I've done. And then he will come back to say, I will in Florida, I'll stand my ground law. Okay, I think that is clear. But let me bring you Mose.
Yeah.
Look, Dr. Mali asked a question, why? And the why is the why, the when, the how. These are questions people do not like to answer because it requires some details explanation. Can you do us a favor this evening? Why all of these are happening? Do you see this coming? Why?
Well, thank you, brother. So good evening, fellow analysts. I'm glad that I'm here so that we can have this conversation. And I hope that you guys will understand first and foremost, as security personnel, we are non-affiliated when it comes to political parties.
Oh, please, Jesus.
Security is non-political. Should be non-political. So having said that, if you ask any trained security officer what party they belong to, they will tell you, I exercise my rights to vote, not to succumb to a party agenda or manifesto. I heard Brother Barkham talking about the situation with Yaka Kuluba. What I deduce from that is that, first of all, Yaka Kuluba has become a nuisance and an embarrassment to the House. With that being said, the speaker should wear his big boy pants, or the leadership of the legislators should wear their big boy pants and not fall into Yeka's trap. Because what happened on that day for them to go and dismantle the car door was instigated by Yeka Kuluba, which didn't give them the right to do what they did. They were not supposed to do that, and it's bad. But I didn't see any police officer going in and breaking the door. I saw two persons in civilian clothes with a drill drilling through the door.
Who are they?
It doesn't make it right. Number one is that we got to understand we're still in post-war era where we had no law and order for 14 years. Other countries that have gone through civil conflict have taken decades to recover it. Someone mentioned people are not sensitive. A lot of the people over there were desensitized during the war. And their way of life became a learned behavior. Some of the things we're seeing are not normal in that country. So you can't treat it like a normal situation. And I say, because this is supposed to happen, this is going to happen. I think the police lacks training. And what's on my mind today also is the continuing effort of the police to make mockery of themselves by inviting people of interest and going in and not doing anything. And not following what they're supposed to follow. Jerry Barkham said it. Your first duty as a police officer is public safety. To serve the public, to make sure to diffuse any danger, and you have the discretion every second of your duty. Our people trained to do that. Police should not be everywhere. Police officers are not supposed to accompany judges. They're not supposed to accompany legislators. They're not supposed to accompany ministers. Police work is public safety. They're not trained to be bodyguards. So these are things that need to be thought about in the security apparatus so people can understand the work, the responsibility of these people, and to hold them accountable.
So
I'm disturbed by what I continue to see when it comes to security in that country. And I told you guys before, 2011, the UN envoy, after spending millions and millions of dollars in Liberia during the Ellens Burkhardt administration, wrote and said the country of Liberia was not ready security-wise to conduct its own self.
let's have a conversation here a little bit. I'm not going to allow you to rule.
No.
Yeah, hold on, sir. I'm not going to allow you to roll a ski here. And
no, I'm not roller ski. I'm just giving you some facts. So when
I know the work you done. I saw the document. What I want to ask is good you are here tonight. Gerald Bako is here, and I know you and your liberals started already attacking Dr. Malley from speaking out, forgetting to know that Dr. Malley is even the co-host, and today is Wednesday, so I'm not sure why he's trying to get out of his chair. He gotta be very careful here. But my guest, get me right if I'm just going over the top here. You closely work to what extent in terms of conversations, advice, and this question goes out to Mr. Bacon before the labor guesting. What is discussed behind the scene, you being the expert, being involved, went out there to do a research, and here we're coming at a time with a vast experience, someone that potentially we believe could have stabilized something. Were these conversations here or nothing of such? And you want to come here now to tell us police not supposed to do this, police not supposed to do this. How you had a chance to share note with Gregory Coleman or even the president? The president come here, you don't need pass, you all have to work on his details and all of that. Do you guys have these sort of conversations, or when he leaves after you're drinking, you'll have your next cold wine and they'll come bring Tabata talk to us?
Well, let me answer your question directly, brother. When I personally interacted with His Excellency before he was elected, we talked about a lot of things.
What?
Since the election, security-wise, we
including the conversation we are having now.
We had some of these conversations. I talked to some of his colleagues. Since the election and inauguration, I have now had the opportunity. I'll speak for myself. I have now had the opportunity.
Oh, they cut you off.
I went to Liberia twice. Never had the opportunity to sit. The only person I spoke with was one Mr. Passaway, who is the chief of traffic. He and I had a long conversation because I knew him when Jerry Backham and my dad were working with the police department back in the day. He's an all police officer, and he's doing a hell of a job. And I commended him. First, I saw him on the streets in his sweatshirt and doing his work in traffic. As far as the opportunity, I met Gregory Coleman once when he came here. We had a discussion for at least 2 hours. So when you go there, the challenge is that what you discuss here is never followed through when you get on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And so it's and you cannot force yourself to go and tell the people. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of resources that we can share with Liberia to stop.
Right. I'm boiling within to chat with Libra, but before I go back, so meaning your phone, your number now is on airplane mode, right? You don't talk to them, they don't talk to you again.
Oh no, I've not spoken to anyone on security issues.
Is that yes to my question?
That's yes. Yeah, I don't know if it's on Apple more, but I've not spoken to anyone on security. And the most we've done with security is coming to this show and having conversation.
We told you come on our side and represent the
What
voice
side
of the
is that?
people.
We cannot come on your side because we're not politicians.
Oh, please.
We're civil people. We provide security.
Okay.
We
I
provide
want to get the liberal.
for every Liberian citizen.
Okay.
We can't get no side, and that's the thing they got wrong in Liberia.
Oh, please.
Police officers are not supposed to be carrying political regalians.
This is unbelievable. Let me push on here.
Go ahead.
Good that you alluded and liberal Hawaii, you have been
Liberal to hear it.
They cut you off already. Let me ask Mr. Backup before I to the liberal. Jared, is your line still active with the people there?
Yes, my line is still active.
Oh, Moses, you the victim of this whole. So look, on a serious note.
Go ahead.
You went home the other day, you met the president, correct?
Yes, sir.
You are, it's not a hidden thing. You are one of the details guy when the president travels to the United States. And with your vast experience from the police, the yesterday police with intensive training to benefit for the government of Liberia, you came here, you learned, and everything is going. Are these people listening to you people when you gave your your honest security advice as to how things should be there? Do they listen to you, or are you kind of like getting frustrated now as well?
No. You see, in policing, we got three methodologies. The three are persistent, consistent, and frustration.
Oh.
The frustration is the big one.
The frustration is on you guys now, right?
See, but listen, that's what I'm saying. I said there are three. You gotta be persistent, consistent, and frustration. Yes, some time. Let me put it into a historical perspective. Since you asked the questions, when Bin Laden hit America 9/11, it took 1 decade before he was captured and killed. So the frustration was there, but it was still persistent. That they know one day you are going to catch him. So that's what the persistence is. And you got to be consistent. Their frustration, because it took 10 years before they can get Bin Laden. So the frustration was there, but it was still persistent. It was still consistent that one day he would be caught. So in our field, it doesn't matter. They take 20 years, 50 years.
Gotta keep going.
That's the goal.
Gotta keep going at it.
Okay.
Well, I come in, let me give me some time.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the issues, it is not all the leadership. The president that appoints you as a chief of police is your responsibility. The president will not hire you because and say, "Oh, this is a day-to-day operation." No, that's your responsibility. And let me say this: Moses just said something that just clicked to my mind. When Wilfred Clark was director of police. When Wilfred Clark was director of police, for you to see Wilfred Clark, was very minute. Even his father, Moses Simple Senior, at that time he was 103, the deputy director for administration. These are people who was hands on deck. There was people not just, you can just walk into the office. I'm coming, sir. Can you give me a few minutes? Let me just say this.
I didn't say anything, though. I just listening.
These people then indoctrinated us. What police is all about. When you see Wilfred Clark, you see Pritchett, when you see Peter Wild Wasting.
Yes.
He said, Then I left. I went to the intelligence department. Sylvester Moses, the director of NSA. Mr. What's his name? Jacob Nimley.
CID.
No, he was the intelligence.
He left CID and went
to intelligence.
Okay. Yeah.
I just
short, light skinny guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good guy.
These are people who don't.
Did you guys having to work with head? CID head?
Augusta Head. He was
handicapped.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he was 102, and then
but he was how do you call it, handicapped.
yeah,
He
was 140.
His father was Dr. Head at the Minister of Education.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just want to give the premise of people who are listening to us. These are people who were respected. Were respected. Let me go a little bit. Man, Patrick Minico, who somehow we idolize. Eh? Man, or Elizon Hammer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hammer.
These are police officers for you to even see them in the street. Because we're disciplined.
What happened to those people that are there now?
Wait now. Hey, see, you always try to
drill me in these stuff. We're talking about what is happening now.
No,
what happened now? Why are we to this point? Dr. Mali asked a question. You are unable to answer this question.
I will offer something on that.
Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Today you said we should be humble. We shouldn't be antagonistic. I said, fine. Yeah, Dr. Miller, he diagnosed the leadership with psychology issue. Now he had diagnosed the administration with psychology issues.
There goes your piece out of the window.
So when you
Yakubu, what is it, Yakubu Ra or whatever the peace conference was?
So when you come here, go ahead, Jerry. You said we should do this. Fine, I'm willing to listen to ceasefire. That's why he said that's your code word you use, not ceasefire. I'm willing to ceasefire. But yes, your co-host has diagnosed the administration with psychology issues, a level, experience. Fine, that's fine. He's entitled to your opinion. But yeah, what I want to say.
Point of correction, Mr. Bacon. I'm asking question. Don't just put it in a conclusion mood. I'm asking set of
questions he was asking.
Yes. So
listen.
Don't this thing.
Why?
Don't listen. Question. Why?
Don't reconstruct. Don't reconstruct.
I was speaking to that. Just give
Dr. Mali.
We are still on the peace. The peace pact is still on the table.
Yes.
Don't disturb it.
Lebanon is instigating to break to let a ceasefire to be.
You having peace with people. You're a charge or going to peace conference.
Let me conclude this. The question
peace conference, and then you going on like that, Dr. Mali.
Listen, let me conclude this. Let me conclude in this. Let's go to history and statistics, or maybe your behavior, or whatever you want to call it. Topper was vice president for 19 years. What happened on the administration? It was Topper. That's number one. With 19 years experience as a vice president, an issue arrives. And today we had a coup in Liberia in 1980. Charles Taylor, Madam Ellen Johnson Sally, who have been fighting for years, at that time somehow was still fighting being nursery. A former Minister of Finance, when she came to power, it was not bread and butter. Tubman, he and Barclay, before he became president. These histories are there. So when we come here, before we make this statement, let's value this thing, and before we make this statement and honor this thing, these are things that are happening. Let's look at our current administration in the United States right now.
Oh God.
No, listen, because you see, you have to connect the dots. Is America is peaceful?
No, that's cut a long time. There's nothing.
Listen, Mister. Can you give me? You see, when your co-host is making his analysis, he's not being interrupted. But when we are making our own analysis to rebut what you're saying on your red wing, and we have been suffocated. So I think we deserve the opportunity to express ourselves when the question comes about.
Go ahead, time going. 30 seconds, please.
These are issues every administration have their own problem. Yes, no administration will say yes, it's going to be bread and butter. But the matter is how it's handled Has it been enforced? Has it been interpreted? That's the issue we should be discussing. I think that is the issue we should be focusing.
When I hear the kind of thing, it just it's paying my hair and Dr. Malley. These are issues. These are issues. It's a clear indication these people never had a contingency plan. There was no strategy in place. They told all they're going to rescue. I'm making my point, and I'm going to bring into because when you come in to rescue somebody, you must have all of the logistics required, the life vessel. How you come rescue? Like you shrinking your arm, get a fire service chief going to see fire scene, and then he wear a safari suit and stuff like that instead of being in his whole gear. You are not answering my question. It's a ploy. Your actions is deliberate. Let me go to Liberal. Liberal, are you prepared to answer the question, or are you also being disconnected with the real world?
What's your question?
Why, Dr. Malley? That's the cutting. That's the
Dr. Malley was not asking question. Dr. Malley was being condescending. And we're not going to allow the good doctor, the educated man, to try to treat us as though we are unable to understand his logic. He asked a question and answered a question, and perhaps throw another phrase in there to turn a question into sentence. I'm not too sure which way he was going, but I'm not going to dignify the good doctor's statement on this platform, Mr. So. What I can say is that the good doctor has the right to speak his mind. But stop hiding yourself behind questions. Speak the way you want. What do you want to say? Are you accusing this government of being schizophrenic? Are you accusing this government of being perhaps unable to lead? Is that what you're talking about? Something, Mr. So you coming here talking about the rescue coming and swinging their hand. When the rescue was coming, we told you what we were coming to rescue. It is the people like you, the like of Dr. Malley, that Dr. We have put in a hole. We were coming to take you out of the hole, and we will put you on the train. And is it our fault that you guys continue to behave like a crab, trying to pull each other down back into the hole? It is not it is not President Wakai's fault. Let me just say this to you. President Wakai, if you don't remember this, before coming in, he told you he has an agenda. And you, Mr. So, of all people, know something about the agenda. You ran an organization for years, a big organization, a district organization, bigger than some of the counties. And you ran that. You know something about agenda. The president came, he said, I have an agenda.
What is that?
Mr. So, the liberal is on the floor. You want to kick me out? Go ahead. It's your right. It's your show. The man said, I have agenda. The arrest agenda. And not only that, he spelled it out. This agenda is the engine of the rescue train. This agenda is the fuel of the rescue train. Now, it was our job to make sure we provide the platform, some sort of a flat platform for those of you who continue to be, and I will be very, very careful how I use my word here tonight. Intellectually disabled. Many of those credit, they are intellectually disabled. And because we understood that, we knew that they are not capable of hindering the conversation that we have. And because they were
okay.
I mean, Mr. So please let me land.
No, you got 10 seconds. I gotta go to Dr. Malley.
Let me land. I'm on flight, and when I'm in flight, things come out. Those of the people that are intellectually disabled, we provided the ADA and we didn't even go 8%. We made the rent to be 5%, so that they will be able to pour themselves onto the rent. But what do? Okay. They decide to go back into the hole. You want to blame President for people that are falling back into the hole, and we're trying to help you out. Please give us that kind of credit. President Waka is making the progress, and President Waka is working. We are here to defend the progress of President Waka. Please, we're not going to sit down here and you guys come
Dr. Malley
around some sort of a question and kind of throw it to us as though. Thank you.
Let me go to my co-host. I need to bring
Can I speak to Dr. Malley's concerns or exhaustions before he speaks?
No, you're not a politician.
Oh, there we go.
Are you a politician?
The question came to you. You say you're
See,
not a
what we
politician.
do here for us.
No, but it's not politics. You said why are we where we are when it comes to security?
Okay, so Dr. Male, he
I want to
pleaded
some of
fifth.
this-
He
I want
pleaded
to
fifth. So let's. Okay, since he pleaded fifth, go ahead.
You pleaded fifth about Mali?
You say you already denounced yourself. Go ahead.
No. But hear what it is, though. Hear what it is, folks. And Jerry touched on that briefly. We know that the civil engagement in Liberia changed after 1979, after the Rest Riot. There were tension that brought up. Then we went into 1980. So let me fast forward to now. When Dr. Male asked the question, why this, why that, it's because we have 14 years of civil war, and we're still in the time of post-war. Total anarchy means no law and order. People that are in that country lived around that time period, and most of the things that they learned, they became desensitized, and it became a learned behavior. To change, and you are a psych person. That's why in policing, one of the first written exam you take before you go to police, become a police, is your psychological test. And that doesn't mean when you take that test, that's it. Continuous training is also involved. You got to do psych tests because your job demands your psyche mind to be able to make the right decision. And those are things we don't have the opportunity in our country. I will give you a little background. After the war, when Chancellor became president, the people who were rebel soldiers guiding him became police officers. Some of them are still there today. Some of those people are still there today. When Ellen took over, she trained a little group of people, only one between 2006, 2008. And then ECOWAS protected the presidency. So after those training, I'm not even sure there's any other training that was held. But it's required for police officers to have training, at least 40 hours of training every year. We don't have the opportunity. That's why we are where we are. When you ask why, when it comes to security, because crime evolves and policing has to evolve. Policing work is not completed without surveillance. That's who they get the evidence for to create probable cause before they go to court. They need witnesses. So when we look at the security, we need to look at it in a holistic form and not put it on the leadership. Because the leadership appoints people thinking that these people are competent enough to do the service that is required to provide these. The accountability piece needs to come from the higher up down. And it has to start from the top down.
Okay.
So where we find ourselves is trying to deal with something that we've never dealt with. And you got people there, and desensitization is playing a role. So let's be careful what we say. And that's what I keep saying. Security personnel should not be political. In Liberia, it's totally different. In Liberia, it's totally different. So when you I think, one of the things that I wanted to recommend, I don't think I'm going to say it on the show, but I would say when the time is right, we need to create a public safety commission in Liberia.
Well, you can't talk about that. He's creating a lot of commission.
No, not committee. They're not committee.
I'm just saying that he's creating.
Listen, Mr. Soul, it's the 21st century approach to creating an organization or an institution that is not corrupt, that is not somewhat connected to any political party, That's what they call public safety.
Okay,
No matter where you are, they have the public
Dr.
safety complex right there in Providence.
Okay.
It used to be the police department, but they changed it to public safety. And that includes paramedics, fire, and police. Different assignments.
Let me go to Dr. Mallet. So, you guys are unwilling to answer our question. I'm not sure what
I didn't ask any question. I didn't answer.
Okay, I'm coming. You have the liberal you're talking about. Should I get on the train where I'm coming? I'm going to Dr. Mallet. I'm just trying to set the stage for the co-host to come in. Do you want to get on a train where Samuel Koga is the chief mechanic? And where you have the left-hand man guard is the driver?
Why are you going there?
I'm not talking. I'm asking Dr. Why remember why I'm going there?
Why are you going there?
Eh?
Why are you going there?
Where?
To Koga.
Koga?
Yeah.
You don't know the origins of where we get ourselves today?
What's the origin?
Why are you afraid? Okay, Dr. Mallet gonna come to that. So, Dr. Mallet, I'm not prepared when Liberal is trying to go on his suicide mission to be on a train where you have Samuel Koga and you have Richard Kuhn to be the chief technician. I am not prepared to go on that sort of train where he's going to be authorizing people. And then you have what his name, what the other man name from Bon County, the bulldozer from both. What your friend name? The Liberal.
Who my friend?
From Bon County, the man who can open the door. I want to. What do I?
Colette? You talking about Colette?
Okay, Colette.
Colette.
I don't want to be there, but let me bring in Dr. Mallet. You see, these guys, they are finding excuses that just doesn't add up. Now, they don't want to blame the leader. They don't want to blame the executive. They put people there. Who put these people there? You and I know, I'm coming. You and I know vividly to well. If you're a manager, you have your supervisor, you have it, and you report to those people. It is your job as an overhead to monitor, unless you just give people responsibility to have their own way. And that brings us to the questions that Dr. Mallet was asking. Who is in charge? Wow, what really happening? Dr. Mallet, these guys are not answering our questions. They are salad dressing all of our questions. And I believe it is on purpose. So
Mr. Mallet didn't say that.
Well, thank you, CEO. As usual, our brother on the other side will always be on the defense. But I think let me bring Mr. Balcon into perspective here. He made some very, very salient point, taking us down to the wrap of history. And I want to really thank him for that. But here is the key. Those historical analyses are only relevant at that time.
No, Dr. Mallet. Yeah, what were you saying?
Can you please stop disrupting, please? The man is speaking.
Mr. Balcon, I really want to thank you. You've educated me. I mean, you took me through so many little cycles this evening. I want to thank you for that. But that history is relevant to that time, honor that administration based on the prevailing circumstances at that time. We are in different time.
Thank you.
With different circumstances, different conditions, different leadership,
right,
and different team. So we can't borrow from there. No.
That time
there will be a clash, because now the circumstances we find ourselves in right now is very serious. This now link me up to the security analyst Sengme when he talked about the issue of trauma, the trauma issue. I want to thank you, Mr. Sengme. That's a very salient point, the issue of trauma issue. But least we forget, 2 years ago, when His Excellency was part and parcel of a 12-year administration where they should have had a package to de-traumatize the population, de-traumatize their team 12 years ago with a very huge budget from the international community, where they even sacrificed Charles Tiller for the money to come.
They traded
this guy for the money to come. Yes, the money came. And I let His Excellency President Boakai was placed in charge of the whole trauma package. I stand to be corrected. I'm coming. Mr. Sigme, I'm coming. Now today we are saying the people are traumatized. Okay. We elected His Excellency based on his 40-year experience, so he can lead we the children who are traumatized. Is he leading his team through counseling, which is key? Is he persistent on discussion to talk to them as a head of this team? Is he reminding them? Do we need persistent and constant leadership workshop here to de-traumatize these people? If the question is yes, then where the loophole is coming from? Because we keep moving from one misstep to another misstep and another misstep and another misstep. We are traumatized. That's why we elected His Excellency President Boakai. He's the heir of this country, and he has so much under his belt. What is he doing to de-traumatize his team, or to even talk to the horse, to have caucus with them, the judiciary, and even the executive? What is he doing? I yield.
So this is what Dr. Mali. What?
Separate but equal.
Yeah, well, they're doing everything possible to hang on to something so that they can't get drowned. So let me bring in, I saw my own friend and brother Jerry back on taking notes. These notes, you have been taking these notes for the last 12 years, 1 year plus now, you're taking these notes. We are not seeing the implementation aspect of these notes. We're tired of seeing people taking notes. We want full implementation. So here we are. The leaders, this one, and put people there. Who put these people there? Are they not being supervised? Are their work not being monitored? We just give people responsibility, whether they are executing, whether they are making reports, what is the revision? Who is doing the revision? And are they meeting their goals? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? Or you guys just want to come here every night?
I'm not cutting you off. I agree with Sigmund there, this separation of power. After 4 o'clock in the African setting, people connect the dot. People call the president, they talk, the judiciary, they all talk on issue. Yeah. It happened. Okay? This is the African setup. It happens. All right? This is an error. And I know when His Excellency, with his age, as Lpr always said, the father of the land, call you and say, look, oh man, this thing is making my government to look ugly. You will listen. And I know His Excellency been doing this thing behind closed door. My question to you tonight is, why is it that it's not working?
And if it is not working, what next? Let me bring in Jerry back on. Jerry.
Yes, sir.
This is serious business.
What are you drinking? That baby milk?
I'm drinking Lipton tea tonight, bro.
Dr. Mali, this guy, he's trying to distract you. Don't play into
no. He's running campaign, but I understand where he come from.
Let me bring in Jerry back on. Look, Jerry, this is I don't know. It's you heard Moses pulling things here and there, and it's just in continuation with your talking point as usual. Lpr came and just throw another monkey wrench into it. That is okay, but this is not just going well. You talk about what is happening within the house. It is our concern.
All right.
why this is every other day, every other time, we are not talking about any sort of dedications. Either the country is swamped into corruption, this other ministry, this other agency, hell is breaking loose as if no one is in charge, and every little person having his or her own way, like we are in the land of Sabibo, where there's no law and order. Am I correct?
No.
Explain.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. How many minutes do I have?
You are running into your meanings.
Okay, but no, that's not the answer. How many minutes do I have? I'm asking you because I don't want to be.
You see, instead of you now, this is what you guys do. Instead of people are listening to you.
Well, I just ask you a single question, sir, because by the time I start speaking, you say your time is off. So I just want to know if I got 2 minutes, I got 30 seconds. You say you got 30 seconds. How put it on that show?
Yeah, you're not on Tribino.
Okay.
It is at my own volition to determine when I need to continue or need to go to the next person. So
all right, okay,
I'm going to ask for 1 hour.
It's a discretion. I have discretion. That's great. I have discretion.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's understand one thing. Honor His Excellency, Mr. Wakai, is the first of a kind. You know, sometimes I don't know. No, I don't use that word. People forget. I'm going to use that. You'll forget. When Wakai came out with a recovery asset, it was a failure. It's a failure. Look what happened. The Supreme Court say everybody he won a case. Now, do you know how many money going to come into that country out of the recovery? You're not talking about it. You stay focused on the negativities. What he have done. First in our history, recovery. Going to the Supreme Court make a decision. The government, yes. The government won the landslide. So that's one of the aspects. Look at our road condition now. So from the Midwest to the east. You can drive from Moravia now all the way to Ganta, passing Ganta, all the way to Tabata. You're not talking about that. Huh? But here's the thing I want to focus on. When it comes to the genesis of our discussion tonight, which is about the Capitol building. I have said it, I will say it again. And these people are listening. Like this weekend, I received a lot of calls from I've been talking about white collar crime organized. If we had the Capitol Police, some of this team will not happen. Where the police will be fully prepared, fully equipped with the Capitol Police. The Capitol Police should be able to, the Capitol building should be able to have our own Capitol Police that will be responsible for this thing. Because if this thing had been prevention, that's what security is all about, is prevention. We are proactive, not reactive. If we have our own police department, not the police department, excuse me, if we have the Capitol Police that some of us been alluding to, if Jeke Koliba had gone there to park his car, the Capitol Police will on the instruction, sir. That is for the
speaker.
That is for the reserve for the speaker. Okay. Even he's an agitator.
Yep.
Yep. That's why you are responsible for. These are some of the things we are talking about. So that's number one. Then we'll talk about our dad said aggression. Look, something called transfer and aggression. These are things that we'll go over. Okay? And let me conclude with this. You see, when you're making allegation, you should come up with facts. There's nowhere to be found, or he can prove or make it available. You talk about a budget, there's no evidence to that effect. There was some money that was allocated for all the budget for, say, there was money given to the country for social purpose. There's nothing that Mr. Boyka said receive and say, when you go by president or honor his administration or Early Johnson administration. And provided for us tonight. So these are some of the things we want to know, because Mr. Boyka is making progress in the country. It might not come as the sound of bullets, but it's coming. It is in the bridge. You can see it for yourself. Some of you are blind because you see when you are blind, that's why as a journalist, you don't just go there and make a decision. You have to do your investigation and have an open mind to be able to get your story. Because once you are already taken side, regardless, the evidence is there, you're not going to recover it because you know what? You already make a decision. So please don't be blind to this thing. Look what Mr. Bucker had done, recovery. What's about we only show? Hold on, sir. We only show. Oh, the recovery, the Mr. Bucker lost. Yeah, what happened?
We're talking about a chaos that is existing now. You're telling us to see something that is behind the mountain that we have not seen.
What chaos you talking about? Look, this is what happened at the Capitol building. It's Capitol building issues.
Capitol building issues. Hold on. Initiated and orchestrated by your president. And you don't want to talk about that.
No, listen, sir. That is a surgery ground where the president cannot come from across the marshal and come and say, this is what needs to be done. That is two branches, in fact, three branches of government. The temple, hold on, sir. The temple of justice right across in the same building, across the street. We got the Senate and they had the legislature there. He can come across the street and say, oh, no, we got the representative parking car. I mean, this would be petty. That would be below the president's standard to come and say, oh, Mr. or Representative Senator Jackie Koluba, you park a car here, or Mr. Kuhn, you did this. No, these are adults. You should be able to handle this thing. These are legislature. They are not babies.
You see, you know
they're not babies. They are adults. And you know what? They are accountable to, hold on, sir. Let me conclude. They are accountable to their legislature. They are accountable to their constituent. That constituent responsibility to see these are people whether they are serving their country. Mr. Buckeye, Mr. Buckeye is the president of the Republic of Liberia. He's a steward. Let's get it straight. That's why we have the three branches of government, check and balance system.
This is unbelievable. Shame on you. You have a guy who initiated, who caused the flame. This is why it is said, if you do not have the logistic, do not cause it, because you just do not have the tank to put out the fire. He created a cure. He created a flame that is ongoing. Now he can't go there. He will only go there when he the real hooligans now, they are breaking the speaker door. They have removed the speaker through his own creation. Now you want to remove him out of the picture. But I got a good news for you. One doctor here, let me just read a message here. You already get a job. They say you should move from behind Joseph Boyka, and then you come here. They say, hey, Mr. Soul, I want you to please pass this message to Mr. Barcom that we need his support, his brilliant idea. Boyka will not listen to him, and they will never listen to him. Just how the phone lines have been cut off from Moses. So our team visited his district, Nima County. Huh? What happened? What?
That is it. Can put it on the screen. Let's see. Put it on the screen. Where's the evidence?
Why my knee gonna come and instead of cut my feet off?
They disconnect your line. No, I'm not joking. Our team visited his district in Nima County, and the pictures we got are very sad. We want to bring him to our campaign so we can all work together for the future. Please announce that to him. Our candidate, Dr. Joyce. I'm not. We are authentic. When it comes from me, when it comes from Mali,
candidate George Wood.
Listen to me. Y'all listen. You see, that's why.
Let him read. Go ahead,
when it comes from Dr. Mali, it is authentic, it is genuine, we don't have secret. So our candidate, Dr. George Gumpo, many thanks. So that's a senatorial candidate for your county now. He needs you. That he are not listening to you. Do not act like hero and die like a mean bar man. Come somewhere where they're going to listen to you.
Look, Mr. So, let me come in here a little bit. I know time is fast spent, and I'll make it short. When we come on these platforms to have conversation, not only are we having conversation among ourselves, but people watch us. Hundreds of people watch us, thousands, because they will go and replay. Other people watch it later on tomorrow or day after tomorrow, what have you. Dr. Malley made a statement here earlier. And like I said before, he's entitled to it. Those are his view. For me, I am not an educated person. I don't even have a GED, let alone high school. But I believe that the purpose of history is like a reference file. Those of us that do these technical stuff, road design and engineering here and there, we go back before you establish an alignment on an old road. You have to go and research previous alignment that was used. You have to go what they call as-built, and you bring those things on board. So what the people did here, how deep was this? How thick was this asphalt they put in here at the time? How much do I need to remove based on previous history? So for Dr. Malley to come here and say, yes, thank you, Jerry, for making reference to history, but that's other time. It's only good for that time. It's not good here now. I'll give you a common example. We're talking Liberia. The curve that Tommy Bonner died on 1977, that curve have not changed. The degree of curve remains the same. If you were to travel with the same speed Tommy Bonner was traveling that day on that curve, you will die. There's nothing have changed. So the condition remains the same. The players have changed, I agree. But we should look backward and see what are some of the things that are good that we can bring to our future, where we are now, that can help us. You can't discard everything because it's history and it's only good for that time. Unacceptable from my perspective. But Mr. So, let me just say this here. You come on this platform day in, day out. You're hoping for us to somehow hold the president responsible for everything because President Walker appointed people who are not working and therefore President Walker is not working. I agree with you. The buck stops with the president. But Mr. So, let me remind you this. Those that are employed, they are not foreigners. These are Liberians. Many of them from villages, just like me, villages in Liberia. Many of them grew up in the villages in Liberia. Many of them went to school with no shoes in their elementary school time. Many of them have their mom selling better boy just so they can go to school. So if President Walker entrusts in you the ability to deliver, and you are unable to deliver, yes, the president will take responsibility. But what is your own responsibility as Liberian? What is your own responsibility? What you need to do for our people, Mr. So we can't just always try to say because the buck stops with that. Can you let me finish?
This is unbelievable.
Can you let me finish? Even if you disagree with me, give me the opportunity to prove myself wrong.
You're already wrong. So
yeah, okay. Let's CDC. Let me put my phone in my mouth. I'm not going to help you to take it out.
There you go.
Yeah. So let me do that. But to conclude, Mr. So every night you come. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Why am I? Okay, yeah, you are. Where are you? Why are you running away from me? What happened? Hold on, folks. Oh Jesus. Well, what's going on with? Okay, all right. Sorry. So, Mr. So, to conclude, I apologize for that technical issue. To conclude, let us, for once, take responsibility as Liberians for ourselves. We work in a government, and the government is an entity that belongs to the Liberian people. We hire somebody as the head of an entity. But every one of those players, they are also responsible to produce. And the production from each one of them will make it whole and will make the country better. Not President. Look at President Walker's age. Do you think he wants to come back and say, oh, I'm going to go and build myself a mansion? President Walker is in there for the interest of the Liberian people. truly interest of the Liberian people, because he has done everything he can for himself. Everything else from here on is because of the Liberian people. So let's give him that opportunity to continue to shine. And he's shining real well. Thank you, Mr. So.
Let me go to Keto and let me put it loud. You
first.
I
gotta speak first.
This is not a liberal show.
Sure. You went through everybody, and now you come to me. Now you're going to Keto.
This is not a liberal. Here, we don't forcibly open speaker.
Go to Keto. Go ahead. Go to Keto.
We don't buzz into speaker door on this network.
This is who they are.
I will be patient. I'll be patient.
This is who they are. This is who they are.
We don't buzz. We don't intrude into the speakers. We don't facilitate.
Yes, sir.
So you heard the liberals in his long journey from Totan to Ghana and then the plane carrying to Dubai. Finally, he touched down. Yeah, the president put people there, but the people must take. Come on. I'm not sure whether this conversation was the same conversation of yesterday. Look, when you give people responsibility, if they are not functioning, if they are not producing results, so are you telling us because they are Liberians, because they are villagers, so you put them there and you allow them to have their way? That's exactly what you are telling us, and that's exactly what is happening. So you are telling us some of these inner things you talk off camera, you have the guts to bring it here to us, right? They are Liberians. They are not Burkinabes. I know. But for you to come and tell us, Jared is feeling embarrassed about you. Moses is uncomfortable, you think, sitting there to come and tell us that, because they are Liberian, they put them in place.
Why you always trying to inflame this thing?
You put them there, so we shouldn't blame the president. Who we should blame?
You see, that's
Moses, not Moses. Keto, please lend me your ears.
But make sure Keto don't come and talk a lot of Tabata tonight.
Thank you very much.
You don't have control over it. Keto, go ahead.
Mr. To, when the independence on the floor, you gotta give chance.
Right.
You see, this is a beautiful show, and this is a very responsible show with the greatest independent mind on this show. This is the reason why he gave you almost 25 minutes to expound.
Right.
We're all even cutting you off because you were speaking part of Tapata ridiculously. Your explanation on this platform tonight was ridiculous, completely. But he gave you the time to just put, empty everything out there so we can see who the labor is. Who the labor really is.
Right.
Now, let's face reality here. Let's face it, who the boss stop with all the appointment, when everything went haywire, everything break down in the country. They won't say that Gafwan, they won't say that Grace Payne, they won't say that Mamaka, they will say Joseph Boaka failed the Liberian people. That's how you sit on the same platform and say, President, we have failed the Liberian people, it will go to Joseph Boaka. Don't be ashamed of the man you promoted and you gave to us with the hope that he will deliver, and you never knew him because you say you don't know him, you just like him. But what you like, that you push the Liberian people, has come to be the person that you thought that he's not. So accept it and hold it, put your country first, and bash him, tell him he's wrong for the things he's doing. He's not the man you thought he's supposed to be to move this country forward. I listened to the Boashen, Jerry, the security expert Boashen Bacon. I listened to him talking about first of its kind, asset recovery. Go back into real administration. Up to now, people are still paying money to the Liberian government for money stolen from the government, because there were others done that when President Weah came to office, when he established the asset recovery team, what they did, they gave Liberians who were capable the opportunity to make payment. Go back and listen to it. But we forget that's how they were able to get somebody named Brandon Samuka. They were able to get some other thing. Arthur Johnson was on the recovery team. He said they didn't want to take people to court because government will spend more money taking people to court, going back and forth. So they talked to these people to say, look, I mean, you cover what you did this. The only thing they didn't do was to put people in jail. So they wanted to recover some of the money that people stole. So the poor making payment. And when you go to court, you owe $1 million. That's what you can pay. And you can pay $5 every month. That way you can pay. That way. And people are making payment for things they did. Joseph Parker is not the first person. We are waiting. And President, we are government did it professionally. You didn't go just taking people answer or even getting proper investigation done. We were on the books. All were on the books. We are seeing an president, a government who is so dysfunctional. We see inner fighting within the government. All right? Look at what is happening. A national police force that's supposed to protect its citizens, taking instruction from an illegal speaker to bust into the car of another representative. That's broad daylight buggery from the police on video. We saw police slapping journalists and breaking his phone under this administration. Are we not seeing to say, hey man, these are not the people we put over there? Look, today's people went on the street to interview people. Somebody said something. When the Congo went off, we never saw these things happening. The men who are with the Congo people who lived with them saw the upbreaking, went to the school. Hey man, the man got one common sense to implement some of the things the people did, even though some of friends like the 2-week party thing. But they have stability in the country. Today, our country is in chaos. And the liberal, the Washingtons, the security expert come on this platform to tell us that everything is firm. Only because he wants to save his face. And that's a shame. Thank you, Brother Soul.
Wow. Mr. Wharton Carter, the powerful voice from liberal Connecticut here this evening. The only man who broke rank with it. Okay, Moses, let me just bring you in. Are you ready to denounce your guy with,
No. You see, CEO, hear what my mind is telling me right now. When we come to this show and we're making our comments, let's be very careful not to use our emotions and not to look at things from just one track, with one track mind. Every administration post-war has had serious challenges, and the foundation set has to be built upon. So there were some good things that happened then, and there were some bad things. If we keep going back to look at only the bad things that people did, we're not going to move forward. It's very expensive to do corrective actions. If you're proactive, you're good. And there's a saying that for every dollar spent when you're proactive, saves you thousands of dollars later on when you have to react. Many other things we're talking about today is important. Joe Boycott came up with Think Liberia, Love Liberia, and Rebuild Liberia. So from my own assessment of what was going on and what I think he meant is that he's not looking to enrich himself. He's looking because he doesn't need a legacy like other people who will come there and want to leave a legacy. That's the first thing we need to take into account. There has been a lot of strides made in Liberia at this time. Within a year, people see good things happening. Equally so, we have the other side that comes in and exacerbate every little thing. And I cannot agree with anybody that says that Joseph Boycott should go and tell the people in the legislature what to do. It's total a violation of the Constitution. He can have conversation with them, like Dr. Mali said, he can call in and even have conversation with them, but he can make them do things. And I can tell you, at some point in time, I'm not sure what's going on with the rules of the legislators, but I think that Yeke Koluba is totally out of control. Totally out of control. And I think international community watching to see what our legislators going to do, because they have created a condition. He personally has said a lot of things and have done a lot of things. And people need to hold people accountable. One thing I understand Burkhardt is trying to do, as I didn't see, but when Ellie was there, she had to reshuffle her government. When we were there, we had never reshuffled. Burkhardt recently suspended 457 people for not declaring their assets. That action is action of accountability. Let's embrace that and say, yes, that's a good thing. But when we keep talking down on the leaders, it's not good for ourselves. I'm here talking about maybe security business most of the time. That's what I can speak to, because that's where I have my experiences and I've worked in the area. And okay, let me just say this: when Jerry Barker was giving the people before, I can tell you one thing. It behooves me to see that the fire at the Capitol, no one has gotten arrested. You know, the first police chief that ordered the arrest of a legislator, it was Vonnie Dempster. The legislator went and assaulted a police officer in uniform. And that legislator was arrested and taken to the headquarters and charged. When Richard Henry went there, he told Richard Henry that, like anybody else, if they had assaulted a police officer, they were going to be arrested. So the legislator was no different. Richard Henry turned around and walked right back. That's what we called separate but equal. Exactly. And I think we see more of that happening in our country, and the police need to get some training, our security. The other thing is that the Capitol Police thing, we talked about it before. All government entity facilities need to be secured by Capitol Police officers. The LA Justice Salif Ministerial Complex should have 3 Capitol Police assigned. Every ministry should have Capitol Police assigned. Okay. So that it can secure those buildings and those people's lives.
We are about to leave.
That really need to happen in our country, not just for the Capitol building, but every other facility. So
I agree with you.
We want to ask. I'm going to appeal to you again. Let us have a show at least once a week to talk about recommendations. It's good. No matter who's there, that recommendation should go to them and look at different areas and bring different expertise, because most of the people here are resource. Dr. Mali is there when we talk about SAC. He's a resource. What can he offer to get our people's psyche on point? That's what we need to start talking about. Other than come and talk.
Right. Thank you so much.
But that's
solid. But now on those days, you're talking about now, police are fucking the legislators. They are beating lawmakers, brutalizing them, breaking their fingers and all of that. We are about to go. Let us have a talking point, I believe. Dr. Mali, you want to go there? You want to go first quickly?
Yes, I just want to make a few interjections here. Let me start with the secretary analyst, Mr. Singh. It's good to make suggestions for the elevation of our country and society, but that will only depend when we all have the same mindset. We have had a systemic divider mindset on this platform. We have the liberal, and we have the we have the conservatives. We analyze issue as we go along. You support issue blindly, even when it is falling in a hole. So I don't know how we're going to how we're going to mitigate that. Maybe we'll think about it. But let me go back to our chief security analyst, Mr. Barcom. I said something here and he challenged it and he said there were no facts, this and that. I don't know whether we have come to the point where now we will be challenging each other for facts. Because I think when we make analysis here, we jot down our points and do our research. I thought that is part of here. Mr. Barcom made.
Please hold on. After Dr. Mali, that will bring you guys in.
Mr. Barcom made some salient point here. I even congratulated him on the historical analysis he brought. He did not provide one fact, one source. Not one, not single one. Why? Because I took down my notes to do my research so that we can move ahead. The liberal said the history thing, we hold it to that time. I maintain that position. He said there were some good things there that we're supposed to be bringing into the current perspective of the historic of the police system here. Good. Which of the good things that happened down there, liberal, have you people brought into this police force that time? Which one of them? Maybe which one of them you're brought into this time? But let me just go back to Mr. Barcom. I want to refer you to Global Leadership Foundation stroke Helen Johnson Sirleaf, President, Liberia 206 and 2018. And the fifth paragraph reads, during her 2 terms as president, Johnson Sirleaf has focused on rebuilding the country, attracting over 16 billion in foreign direct investment. She has also attracted more than 5 million in private resources to rebuild schools, etc., 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 including rehabilitation. She successfully negotiated for 4.6 billion in external debt forgiveness. When that debt was forgiven, that money flowed in after Charles Taylor went as a sacrificial lamb. I repeat, after Charles Taylor was sold as a sacrificial lamb for the money to flow.
Come on,
between 2006, between November and April, Data Observer, His Excellency, the Vice President at the time, was put in charge of rehabilitation. And we know what rehabilitation meant when it comes to the 16 ex-rebel fighters in that country. What happened to the trauma program? What happened to it? We cannot dodge these facts. They are there. Nothing happened to it. This is why we have the Zongo that proliferated under His Excellency regime, former WIA regime. It continues to today. The proliferation of drugs, it proliferated up to today. All right. So what happened to the 12 years? That's the first government in our history that received the highest donation at the expense of Charles Taylor.
All right, guys, you're going to respond.
And to conclude, CEO.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yes, to conclude, I just want to say here that nobody is accusing His Excellency President Boakai. Nobody, he's our president, we respect him, we always respect him on this platform. But equally so, we analyze the issues with dignity and with respect.
Thank you so much. So, guys, you're going to respond. Just hold on. Let me go to the phone lines yet. The folks been waiting here. Let's go to this number 612, number 1103 now. Caller, thank you so much for being patient. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, man.
All right, yeah.
My name is Joyce from Minnesota.
Okay, let's hear you, Joyce.
Yeah, hello, my people.
How are you?
Mr. So, I only want to talk on the security because that's why I really catch my eye and worries in the way. because I was in Liberia for the war. All through. I didn't go Ghana, I didn't go Guinea, I didn't go anywhere. I was in Liberia. We went to bullets, drank water, in Bukawi, in Port and we were there for the war. And what I see now going in my country, Mr. So, is worrisome because that's what led to the war in Liberia. A lot of our family members have to die. The security in Liberia is scary. Gregory Como need to be serious with his police people. When you socially you get angry, when you really get angry, you're on Facebook, that's not why you are the blow for. We are, according to Liberian people, we are not going to vote yourself out for nothing. Because he just came for a job, he's clean, he had nothing to do with Liberian people. I'm not going to say here because they say they are the West here, if I wherever you can't tell. The police are killing people in Nigeria. The fire went to the police and they see the thing happen on the Capitol Hill. Honorable Kuhn told the people to walk around or let Yekeka. And the people honor him to bust the car. He didn't go for a session, he didn't enter the dating, he only went there to go show power, bust the car and take the total and he jumped in the car and went back to Broad Street. So what took him to the place? And he fire in the Capitol building. So every investigation of government, were there now no police people at the Capitol building for a call point?
That's a question I'll be asking.
Then the question I keep asking because before the Capitol building call point, they have police people there because I watch every day before you get there, before all the representatives they can check all the cars and things before they enter the Capitol because there were a lot of police people there. There were a lot of security. So why are they not calling one to go to the police station? They are not calling none of them, senator and representative to go to the police station. Only the opposition. If we look at the thing, it's partial. It's not fair to Liberian people. It's not fair to Liberian people. So you want to just conclude in your mind because they are the opposition. So they bring the capital building. The security people, the first people is to call for judgment. It's the security people our own car. But none of them have gone to the police station for investigation. Gregor, come on, please. I beg you, if you listen, you take our years ahead of you. If you get to the police job, then resign, then somebody else pay. Because it's hard. The Liberian people are suffering. We need security. I worry about nothing else.
Okay.
Find food to eat.
Thank you.
When a boy is flying, we'll find food to eat. Only the security is worrisome to me. So as all of them talk about the security, we need peace in our country. Because my family stay in that people.
I know, and that's thank you so much for your time. You know, we like to see not only you don't leave this thing with read men, they are tabata. And that's what we're saying. The woman asked a consequential question we'll be asking. Men and women were God. That building was sealed up. And nobody has been called in. So who's the minister president?
They had a key to the church, they had a key, they opened it, they opened the clock. They took the chair, the 2 chairs for this. So how they call boy by the opposition? We don't have key to enter in there.
What a great
so we'll continue to pray for our country.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's talk to this other number here. Let's make it brief as possible. We are out of time. 203 number 2588.
Yes, sir. Yeah, how you doing? Hi to all the panelists this night. More especially to my senior brother Samson too, the liberal, and to the honorable Dr. Mali. I am in agreement with you. You've been saying a lot of stuff.
Okay, good.
But what you said tonight,
good,
very touching.
Good.
And
now you're on
what I really want to say is that people that are in leadership today, they should stop playing with Liberian people's lives. You know, the reason for which Mr. Boaka was voted to office is to liberate the Liberian people. But what we are seeing now is different. The country is in chaos. Every other day, something different had to happen. And they had to cut off those stuff. We need a real leadership that will put Liberia on the correct path instead of they fighting among themselves, witch hunting people, and doing a lot of stuff. We gotta get past that and let Liberia be on the correct path. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see, Clarence, let's hear you. This one here, nothing is guaranteed. There's a Liberal friend. So, Clarence, good evening.
Mr. Top.
Yeah, let's hear you.
The very first thing I want to say, the water slave that the rebel are using is one that I'm trying to use tonight.
Oh, boy.
They used to say, oh, big brother sit down the ground, then I started to say, take out your shoe. And you would do so from the Senate to the president at the end of the day, say, oh, you start dressing, getting to make it look good. I don't think it's fair to the president. We got our age, we got our being, an older person. He's the leader of the nation. We should show him that respect. The second point I want to make here concerning the country, people are seeing security. We are seeing the chaos in the House of Representatives. That doesn't mean that the country is not stable. The country is stable. The government is working. I think the country is more peaceful now that we are not seeing like Keta. We're talking over there, the Jordan Barker government. Thank God that we don't have a Sabu unit. They get here now, be harassing people in the night, harassing people both day and night. We had a stable government, we had a responsible government that managing the country. We can't have the noise in the House of Representatives. We will work and the government will make sure that the country will be peaceful. And the last point I want to make here tonight, I thank God that at least some of those people that were suspended, 1% of suspension have been lifted. We said the chair on the election, the letter of Brian Lasana. I saw it on the KMT news tonight. I think it's a good sound to it, whether the person is satisfied to live for that man on her. I mean, we thank God for her. But when we come to this show is a more responsible show. You don't look down on people. Again, the other say it's a negative thing about people. But a good thing are there. What a good thing, and don't try to place it there. What a negative is there. We can put all our negativity. If we not put Nigeria fight, I don't think we'll be doing good for our country. The country comes first. We have people down there getting there who are going through their thing that we are talking about. But I believe that today, Nigerians, the country is stable. People are going to bed by 10 and others. In the power, what's something that everybody running home. I want to tell you, thank you, CEO, for this show tonight. But I can remember, I think last week Friday. No, Thursday, I think last week Thursday, on one of these days, when Dr. Male appeared on the show and said, never show that day, he was very meek. Yeah, he was very gentle to other night. And I said, okay, that a power pastor, Dr. Male, I want to appear on the show tonight.
You see, Clarence, so you're trying to indict me now. So is that me causing where, yeah. You know, these are the same words when liberal talk, all of you're put together, you're talk those kind of things. So I don't want questioning Dr. Male.
When Dr. Male see you on the show, CEO, Dr. Male can really be bound also. Dr. Male can be bound. I tell you, but when you are not on the show, Dr. Male appear on Never's show, you can really see the true color of Dr. Male.
You see?
I'm telling you.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So you got
thank you for the opportunity that you created for all, at least the people in Ghana, like you will come here to talk about their country. Absolutely. I want to appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Fanta, one day I can let interface here because it look like for whatever reason, I think you are in the column of the Liberal and Jerry Bacon. So it look like there's no way to change you now. Even though the Liberal doesn't like you, he told me he doesn't like you, but you still you will see it for yourself, you know.
Mr. Toe, when I saw you all with a soldier, we are with Mr. Toe and we'll stand by him.
Oh, okay, good man. I thought you were going to change, but see you gonna Mr. James Davis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Let's hear you. I don't know. You are one of the liberal fans too, so I didn't know that liberal name.
I'm a liberal fan. I want to go full time Eastern. Absolutely liberal.
Okay. I wish you luck. Let's hear you.
My problem here is all the people that are on the show that are representing the show tonight. All of us will be back home enjoying your life.
Yeah.
You go eat. But guess what happened? All the people that are seeing capital, most of them are former rebels. So why are you going to see that complete rebel behavior because they were now detraumatized? They're fighting. Most of the people they say, but you don't know about it. Some people don't know about it. But my dad, they say, in the 80s, the West government, the same military government, you ever saw people that are in capital building? You see people like the Safocos, people they see Accra building with that. All the people that you can see them fighting. You all see them in the 80s, the West government, you all see them there. There were mature people that were there. We all signed up to government. They say we're military government. He brought in mature people at the capital building. No 20-year-old, 30-year-old person went up there to start fighting. They don't know the way that won't transit. Look in the government. The young people are more corrupt people. Look at that girl. They get a suspended feeling. To go buy 2 cars, one for her bodyguard, one for herself, government property. You just come from representative, they call you 2 cars. Says there are 2 cars. You get a 2 car, you want to ride it, you got to go back. Another car. Then what you do with that 2 car, yeah? Why couldn't you do some of the cars for your bodyguard? That the money was steal out to make what bodyguard for your to back up for your bodyguard. Most of the people in government they are there to steal. Most of the young people, the young people are not building that country up. So my best suggestion, all the people, the older people that are in America, all they need to encourage the young people with young people who get one voice. All the Liberian people who official government, nobody enter America. Nobody enter any European country or African or Asian country. You stay right in Liberia, you don't go nowhere. You go India, people there, the protest that you will not enter, you will not put it down for the free. Then everybody stay Liberia, face Liberia. I think that's what we need to do. No lawmaker enter America. You go to the airport, we rally around, all the other people that will do this thing, Liberia will be straight. They will be power. You stay right in your country. Thank you.
Okay. Wow.
That Trump idea though is
a complete martial law, whatever it is. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. Let's come to Willie. Are you there?
Yeah, Mr. So.
Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear from Chicago. You in Chicago, right?
How you guys doing? Thank you for the show tonight.
Good.
Boy, the last 6 years there was something introduced to Liberia that it will never finish. It will not go away. Now today people are crying, oh, they gotta be respectful to the presidency. When? Especially the UP government supporters. When your side knowing that presidency gotta be respected. When you have whole, I don't know how many network in this country in and out of Liberia as a Marcos network or just of course government official or the president. It will never go away. You're introducing your planet. Like, for instance, you can call over today. They're fighting. These are the heroes that they carry on their shoulder for all the years. I don't know why they're running away from them now. And we talk about, the other men are talking about older people. The older people are corrupt, more corrupt people in Nigeria. For instance, on the show right now. Yeah, my own father, Mr. Two over there. If you tell Mr. Two right now,
Mr. Toby.
Listen, $2 million, maybe it won't be $2 million. Because you invite that kind of people, you invite that kind of activity. Here, the so-called pastor, you say, I want to be brother, so I call it religious advisor. Forget it. They all going to be that. Because you said that you support the kind of idea, the kind of conversion, the kind of behavior that going on in Liberia. Then when they put you in the position of what will happen, it will be worse.
Okay.
We are in a very hard place.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm just finishing the calls and then okay, Aaron, let's hear you, and then we'll go to the stage view now from Atlanta, from I believe Jersey area. Aaron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. So. How you guys doing? How you guys doing?
Good. Let's hear you.
Yeah, great show. I just got one question. My question is directed straight to Clarence. I don't know his last name. The caller before the last caller.
Oh, Karen David?
Yeah, Clarence David. His government is in charge now. The Sabu unit that he claimed was running behind people in Liberia doing President Weah government, let them go and arrest the Sabu unit. Clarence David were the same people that were peddling the lies all around platforms in America here, that things that were not happening in Liberia were happening. They don't see what happened in Liberia today. They still want to talk about, oh, the things that were happening in Liberia back in the days, is not happening again. So let them go arrest the Sabu unit. They can show one Sabu unit officer. One, they can show. Thank you, Mr. Soul.
Okay, that was a quick and fast one there. Let's go to 609. Nama, are you there?
Yes, I am. J. Victor number here. How you guys doing?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So great show. I was on the road and so I missed most of it. So I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to discuss the lifting of the suspension on the chairperson of NEC, Ms. Brown.
Maybe we got a detail. Actually, I didn't really grab that story. So sometimes if I don't really get the backdrop of the story, I don't just go with it. I don't watch it. I don't know what. I check on EM site. I didn't even see maybe my eyes slip. I didn't see anything. So we didn't touch on it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just reading it here. I'm just a little bit, kind of confused here. First off, the release is indicating that the president has not even met with the aggrieved workers. Although he's calling for cooperation, smooth operation, professionalism, he hasn't met with the aggrieved workers. He's calling for the reinstatement. And suppose he meets with them, and some questions arise again that could militate against the reinstatement of the chairperson. I don't know how he's going to deal with that. That's one. Two, in the release, I really think the upcoming by-elections in Nimba shouldn't have been mentioned at all, because now it just seems as though this is sending a message to the chairperson. It sounds a little bit like putting your finger on the scale. Obviously, she was suspended. Though she's tenured, she's been reinstated. There must be some kind of little fright. I don't want to say intimidation, but I'm not sure if it was wise to make any reference at all to the upcoming elections, because now it really, really sounds as though this is a message that's been sent to the chairperson already, that we got our eyes on you for the upcoming elections. You know, we can remove you, we can suspend you, we can do whatever we can with you. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to discuss it. I'm just kind of, sense of, the UP insiders are there in the presence of Mr. Bacon and, of course, the liberal who is probably reading the release now. So if you don't mind to comment on that, thank you very much. Those 2 points. Great show.
Okay, maybe we want to do that. We're already out of time. Thank you so much, Mr. Ombekinawe. Kepta, you want to make your closing statement before we go?
Sure. So, I like the caller before Mr. Nambe. You understand? Sometimes, and that's why I like this show. Is a show that educates, entertain, and inform, right? So when people come out and make some statement, we try to correct them. And we've been selective on the show because if Mr. To was conducting, he will try to make his own correction. I think it's an alternative correction to people that he believes is correct. So let's go back into history 6 years ago or whatever years ago, right? There was nothing called Sabu unit. It was a made-up stories in Liberia. It was lie. Again, people never used to go to bed 7 o'clock because I was in Liberia, and I know, and even one of the strong opposition person in Liberia that was against this, President Weah government, were in the nightclub up to 4 in the morning, took picture, I put on Facebook, enjoying herself. I'm talking about Yakula, Mariah Yakula. She put on Facebook. People were having fun. People were not going to bed 12 o'clock as people clean. People are not dropping dead in the city all over as people claim. It was just a made-up story like the $16 billion. All face the reality. There were problems in President we are administration. But these people made it look like Liberia was in those days. Liberia was collapsing, the whole country was falling apart. Today we've seen it firsthand. It's not just say police shooting people on the street, killing innocent young children. We see that happening on the street almost every day. We see corruption in this government, not only coming from opposition, not talking about it, in their own people are brought into power, showing them out that these people are corrupt. We see it happening from the commerce ministry to everywhere in government. There's some corruption every day, from the president's circle, even the president himself. Before he even became a legitimate president, he spoke for Liberian people. Don't call a spade a spade. You have no business sending or your deputy to go to NASCAR to take the people or retire money. That's stealing. The people will call it misappropriation. That's stealing. So we gotta call it for what it is. And when we talk these things, we know the pressure people, the poor pressure, I mean not pressure people, but the people pressure can go up. Their feelings can get inside. But we have to talk. Because when the country to be good, you can rescue, they rescue us and make this country better for Liberian people. Anything other than that will bring it down.
Thank you very much. All right. So let's go back on the live fields as we wrap out here. There are a lot here tonight, and that's the civility that is great on this network.
Wow.
You don't try to go on the skins. You see, that's what I like about Mr. Bacon. You know, and Moses, the liberal, he's quick to be kind of been thrown or tried. Yeah. I see back on feeling getting new offers. My man, I want to be a manager on that one. I can negotiate. They bring good, nothing free, no talking free. They want you, they bring some money. We go. If anything, we can bring Moses alone. So they need a crack security team. Okay, gentlemen. Mos.
Yeah.
What are we going on with tonight? Look, but honestly, like you rightfully said, we need to find time, maybe like a Saturday, we can have straight out and see how Mr. Tabacon, look there. But the liberal will not be part of that conversation, because when the liberal comes in, then that's where you guys too can start doing different things. When we're having this conversation, it can be so mutual, it can be so great. But when a liberal comes in with his monkey range stuff, then that's where the problem comes from. So we're exclusive out of that conversation.
I would not allow that.
Oh, there you go. All right, good. Okay. Now I got it back.
Well, let me just say this in closing. We need to watch our emotions sometimes when it comes to this thing. To my brother Kenna, thank you. We know you're passionate about your country and about your political affiliation and stuff like that. But I think at some point in time, we need to find common grounds. We that are uninsured here we can disagree to agree on certain aspects. But every time we speak, if we speak negative of the government, I don't think it is reflective of what we need to do. At least if you can criticize, but bring us suggestions on what needs to happen, I think it's welcoming. And I'm hoping that, in the future, my next trip to Liberia, I'll have the opportunity to sit with some of those people and have a conversation with them. And we really need to start thinking about how we can move Liberia forward collectively, because we come with different views. And I'm sorry that the Dr. Mali left and said that, the media of the minds, we can build that among ourselves. We can reach a consensus on certain topics, and those are the topics that we need to start discussing and coming up with some kind of resolution, because having these shows and not showing nothing for it and means nothing to our people. We can make some serious recommendation, and that way we can hold them accountable and say, well, we did this, then, we had that discussion, we came up with these findings, we sent it. Did anybody look at it? I think it's important to do, something like that. It's like a think tank. So I'm really pushing for this, and
let's throw it to the board chair. When the board chair approves it,
the board chair is right there, and I think he can be a part of it. So I'm going to appeal to the board.
Mr. Bochair, it's your government. This is a government. Now, you see, when you're doing stuff like that, when this sort of suggestion comes out, then we know that you are for the people. But if you allow Dr. Mali to bring his program, developing Liberia, and you guys here, you're not talking about it, then that's a serious concern.
No, but we got
to come up for it.
We got to talk about, you know, we got to approach it from every angle. I mean, we can't rebuild our country overnight, and it has to take bits and pieces. And one of the things that I will talk to the board chair to see what we can do on Liberian Public Radio.
Oh, you know, when you say board chair, that title, right? You see the player now, you showed up out
going.
No,
but I think one of the to him is that Liberian Public Radio needs to start recognizing some of those people that are doing good deals, some of those organizations and NGOs that are doing something.
So, yeah, and I don't know what I should just throw it out or should do it behind the scene, but let's just put it out. So anybody sees the idea, will have people to be a.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's leave it. I will leave it. We'll have that conversation.
We'll have that conversation later. Okay. So I just want to leave this night positive. Yes, the security is a challenge, but you know, if we don't put our hands together and fix it, it's not going to be fixed. And that means we need to start making some recommendations and stuff like that. I know Jerry had an opportunity, and I'm sure he had a great conversation. And hopefully when some of us goes, we can have that opportunity that was given to Jerry so that we can continue the dialogue in that area. But the lady that spoke passionate out of Minnesota. And I can tell you, it was very touching for me.
Yeah.
It was very touching for me, and she hit on it. And that's the biggest fear for everybody going to Liberia. The biggest fear is security. Without security, economic development it's not going to happen. You're not going to have anything else. So we need to just not throw stones. We need to begin to come up with solutions. So thank you for the show. It was a great show.
Yeah. And yeah, I hope you don't go yet. And that's where both of you and Mr. Barkon, you guys are my favorite, because Barkon being a professional person in this field of security. Yeah, you know, sometimes the little feelings can get there. He said, no, if I try my man, the man gonna capitalize it. But you always speak out the truth. You will always go there. Unless when you start going hard, then the liberal saying he takes on the ground, then he slow down. That's the only problem. But he always but I think that's a very good suggestion though. And then when we do it, we have an official website. We make it like a sort of an opinion, something, and what are they don't act well. We have said our own. We talk our own. We make recommendation. We don't just critique. But
we can tap into as well.
Okay. So, Mr. Barkon.
Yes. Yes, sir. Good show. Look, well, let's see. One thing.
I said the guy thing. Other than why you saw the higher, there's something soon. Look, you see, the man jacket. Yeah. Well, you're good to.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You see nothing here. Don't worry about it.
All the old people will go back home.
But that's fine. But you know, it's a good show. And for me, I like people to not engage one another. I'm not here to insult anybody integrity. I'm not here to insult anybody level of education. I learn every day. You know, so it is important that we have different views. And that's why I love this show. And we have different professional people on the show with different diverse views. And that's important. You know, because I might have a different view and you might have a different view, and we can find a common ground to navigate and say, okay, we can come to the conclusion. Maybe you myself and I agree on it. Tomorrow we agree on something. So that's what it is. I'm not here to antagonize anybody. But here's the point I want to make. Our brother said, Sabu Yune. Are you kidding me? Sabu Yune was known in Monrovia with Jefferson Kochi holding colors in your hand, walking around. The evidence is there, and you're going to come here and say it is not there. You know, the evidence is there. One thing I like this day, you can go in the archive and find anything that you want to find about me. Because there are a lot of things I say, or maybe there are a lot of things I posted. You can go on my page, you will find some of the things. That's one of the best things. Here's the thing I want to do. They talk about audit. Are you kidding me? Joshua never audit the early government administration. Let's make it clear. So that's one of the things. But our dear sister, somehow we are pushing it hard when it comes to the security. And somehow we are in the ears of the government. We want to make sure that our security, and we all go home, the same thing you can put your milk and can in front of your house, and they put it in front of your house. And you know, when you come from work, and nobody will tamper with. These are some of the things we are working hard behind the scene, and we are pushing it. And you know, look at you and myself. Look at the house you live in tonight. The glass, somebody can keep that. You can't get that kind of glass in Liberia. That kind of house. Then you might just go sleep on Broad Street. But we are working hard. Some of the recommendation, but you know, to work with people is very difficult sometimes because they are set in their own way. And for you to change, you know, to change person from another place to go to another, it's not an easy task. And so we have the people, their ears, and we are making some hard recommendation. But hopefully one day they will listen to us. They will listen to us. And we are passionate about my sister. We are fighting hard beyond the scene. And you know, like last week, and when Yeke Koruba Sunday happened, I received a lot of impacts. Also, Mr. Bakon, this is what you've been talking about, white collar crime, organized crime. And so people begin to read these things, people begin to listen to us on this show, and it's important. So I beg you, please, we are working hard behind the scene, and somehow we are passionate about our country, the late experience that we have in this country. We want to go home. We will retire. We want to go home and, you know, sit down, Mama point at, you know, small little cigar and enjoy ourselves. You know, if we can do the same thing here, what we can do in our own, if we can serve this country, what we can go home and serve our birth country. So it's a privilege to work for the government here. And it will be a privilege for us to go home and say, that, here's my experience. This is what I have done for my adopted country. And we can adapt some of these things. So thank you, my sister. We are working hard. I hope every day call on the show and, you know, get your views when it comes to security. Whatever you think about, you know, reach out to us. What do you think? What is your suggestion? And we'll take it into consideration. Thank you so much. Yeah. I appreciate your passion.
That's Mr. Jerry Barkant. Okay, the most liberal on this network, the liberal progressive. You know, this down, this guy, every little episode he's around. I mean, all right time, man. This is unbelievable. I don't know why.
I'm not taking the election.
Be a historian because he knows of everything. You know, he's supposed to be a historian. The liberal.
Mr. So, thank you very much. It's a wonderful show. We'll be back here again tomorrow to have some more conversation. Good night, and let's have a wonderful evening.
Wow.
Let's continue to pray for one another.
The way you say that Black Dragon revenge the devil Bruce Lee, he's going to unleash tomorrow. When you see him doing that, he and Jerry, they're going to be a disaster tomorrow. I'm not working tomorrow, so I'm going to be on. We will be
here. I will do anything for Nima County, number one for Liberia. It's our country, it's our county.
No, but I'm serious. These people they send that number. I mean, there are some group of people that want to talk to you. So
get them a number. My number is free.
Guys.
To talk. Whatever the situation, give my number to them. I don't care. I'm talking to them.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
okay.
The public area here, we got nothing to hide them, but we are in the public eye. We got nothing to hide because people listening to us and people want to hear what we have to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are public guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll go talk. See you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening. God willing. Good night.
Most thank you so much, and take care. Good to have you again. But what you suggested, that's a good thing too. So I mean, we can't just talk. I think we can have this sort of and make recommendation. It can be something right and send it to the rightful people.
Yeah,
it's at their own volition. When they want to act, fine, they don't. But at least we talk about it. We feel this is what if it is applicable at a certain period of time.
Yeah,
they will add. But I think that's a good thing instead of just like talking, and we'll talk, and we'll put it in black and white and send it.
Correct.
Or publish it on our website, or do it like an opinion or something like an editorial and publish it. That's it.
Then invite whoever we give it to on the show and have with it.
Exactly. Very shortly, some morning stuff will come as soon.
Can you imagine? Mr. Bago is in a position in Liberia. People will go to jail free. No, you're not going to jail free. You always stay for the time, the duration. I make sure you, when they say 20 years, you stay there for that 20 years. You're not going to get free card.
Jerry, you gotta give the people good time for good behavior.
Well, you gotta earn it. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn it.
Then we gotta put together a re-entry program for you too.
Precisely. No, I'm not saying. But if you go for 20 years, 20 years, all depends what the judge will say. If the judge say if you serve it concurrently, that means you're not coming out. But they say you go there with a possibility of probation.
First thing is, everybody that getting charged.
No, you're not going to get free ticket.
Everybody,
I think the president will fire me the next day because the way I will do it, he will fire me. I will not stay long there. So don't forget about it. Thank you, Mr. Willie. We'll talk about another time. Don't fire me. I think I will get plenty.
Harry, thank you so much. There's some images I want to reach out, people. And, there were other people that I call and talk to behind the scenes. All that's of the program, and that's the thing about it. And kind of like,
we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
Balance. All right.
Let's keep in touch, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, well, folks, that does it this evening. Again, we want to thank you so much, all of you. If this is the first time we see it, we do appreciate your time, your comments, your tweets. We usually go back to review all of these things. It helps to enhance our capacity, where we're falling short and what we need to do. And the good thing here, the respect is maintained here at all times, allowing people to speak their mind. What we do, again, we are not a resistant force against or for the government. I believe we're in the middle, just in that gap to make sure that these conversations and people are held accountable. And that's the work of the media. And we all know how the media industry has managed to be infiltrated because of poverty, and politicians has managed to successfully break through the corridors and see how information is now being shared. It's very, very much important that we have this conversation. I want to thank you so much. Again, before we sign up, on behalf, especially personally for me, our prayers and thought goes out to one of the greatest voices in the musical industry in Liberia. Someone that I really, I never had the opportunity to meet her in person, but we talk, we have a conversation to literally, and the latest was just last week, and only to find out that this wonderful, great lady with extraordinary voice, Jemima Walker, the Nima Princess gospel artist, passed away in discharge of something that she loves, singing. She has gone to a function in Nima County. I talked to her her manager, and he was in tears. And she's a very good lady. So let's get a taste of some of her music.
DJ Square Production Classic. Today.
Oh, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Oh, yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Don't wait. Yeah. Don't wait. Don't wait, my brother. Don't wait. Don't wait. My sister, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I'm in the hospital. Don't wait. Don't wait. I'm dying. Don't wait. Don't wait. I need your help. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Please help me. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. I need you help me now. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Don't wait till I die before you help me. If you want to help me right now. Don't wait, oh sister. Don't wait. I said don't wait. My brethren, don't wait. Don't wait till I die before you help me. I need your help. Help me right now. I'm in the hospital, lying on my sick bed. I just need you to help me one my life, and Jehovah will bless you. Don't wait till I die to rain cast and get my body to the grave. I said don't wait when I die. when I die, to cry for me, man. Oh, don't wait, when I die, to post my photo. This woman was so sick, she was saying at a point of day. I said she went from place to place, but she could not get the treatment she needed. Finally, her son took her to the hospital. And the doctor said they should bring £5 of blood. But this woman could not afford the money. Oh yeah, even her son could not afford the money. He left the mother at the hospital. He went to family member. He went to Uncle Johnny place. He said, Uncle, my mother is at you. I left my mother at the hospital. And the doctor said, we should bring £5 of blood. Uncle, please tell my mother.
Well, you know, so difficult. That's the melody voice of the late gospel artist, the late minister Jemima Walker. So sad. Our prayers and thought goes out to get our all ancient mother who got that news. I was broken down. I never had the opportunity to meet her in person. Literally, we talk every day, and we got connected because when my mom was sick as well, and she passed, I told her I needed, because I just like her voice, her singing, the sort of traditional style of a way. Can you do a special memorial song? And she never hesitated. She agreed to do it. A week to that, she fell sick. And then she called me and said, this is the situation, to the extent, because she said, oh, you know, when people sometimes in America, they ask people to do stuff, other people do it, other people don't, and this is where a breach of trust comes in. And this lady was able to, she sent picture, her foot was in like something. I said, that's okay, there are more to come. And besides that, my own was sick. She took upon herself, just from talking, went to the hospital to say, can I go there to go pray with her? I said, okay, that's fine. And she didn't just stop that. Without her foot hurting, to my utmost surprise, before I could get there, saw that message, WhatsApp number, she dragged herself to go to studio to do the songs in memory of my mother.
Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, Mama, rest in peace. Mama, we say rest on. We say rest on, Mama. Take your rest, love my mama. Till we meet again. When we ain't my way, we say rest on. We say mommy, we say rest on. Mama, we say rest on. We will miss you, mama. We say rest well. We say rest well, mother. Mama, till we meet again. Our eyes are full of tears. We say rest on. Feel you, they want to play with you. But I look around, song. We miss you, Mama. Mama, we say rest well. Our loving mother. Mama, tell me again. Our dear mother. We say rest well. We say rest well. Mommy, yeah. Mama, we say rest well. We say rest well, Mama. Mama, we say rest well. Mama, good night. Mama, tell me again. You never see me. We say rest well. We say rest well.
Oh boy, this is unbelievable. That's the voice of Minister Jimanman Walker. Yeah, for the years, 4 or 5 years almost, every time I went to Liberia, it was just not lucky to see her. And just literally last week, had a conversation. Oh, I'm ready to do the all my video. The sons are ready to do the video. And the plan was to get it done. That was the visit when my mother was literally on her dying bed at the JFK hospital. She went there and sent that picture. Somebody that you have not seen, nothing, but she was willing to do extra. So when I got that news, Sunday was fluctuating. I just couldn't believe it. Not knowing last week were going to be the last time to ever talk to her. The manager even sent a video of her performance that she went to. We are hearing, even going to that concert, there was an accident, multiple people got hurt. She performed, got there Friday, Saturday, Sunday to believe to wrap up. Usually artists having performing, gotta change to kind of like get the occasions after changing to do a last performance. And she just went down on stage. Since the manager talked to him, he's just imagine her mother. This was everything to the old lady, and this has happened. That is so sad. But our prayers and thought goes out to the family.
It's T-Will on the beat.
Yeah, Yahweh. Yeah, Yahweh. Yeah, Yahweh. Yahweh, come for my rescue. Yahweh, fight my battle. Fight my battle. Jesus, fight my battle. Yahweh, fight my battle. Fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battles, fight my battle. Jesus, fight my battle. Yahweh, fight my battle. Fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battle, fight my battle. Jesus, fight my battle. Yahweh, fight my battle. Fight those who fight against me. Yahweh, fight my battle. This battle is too heavy for me, no. I cannot fight it alone, no. You promised to fight it for me, no. Yeah, fight my battle, Jehovah, fight my battle, man. Clipper, fight my battle, fight it and make me a winner. What kind of life when you let me? When I apply for trouble, can I get it? What kind of life I live in today? Oh? When I hear someone they don't recognize me. What sort of life when you let me? My friends are children, but I don't have one. No. What kind of life I live in today? Oh? When I read my application, they don't accept it. Papa, fight my battle. Fight that depression battle, man. Jehovah, fight my battle. Fight the suppression battle. Jesus was my battle. Lion of the tribe of Julia. Miracle working God. Fight this battle for me, Lord. Great God I am. Mighty warrior. Come to my rescue, Lord. Fight this battle for me, Lord. Oh, fight this battle, Lord. Oh, fight this battle, Lord. Oh, fight this battle, Lord.
Oh, boys, what a world that we live in. Unbelievable. What our prayers and thought goes out, but I don't know why sometimes the old man can just intercept some things. Someone who is everything to the mother who can already say in an aging age, I don't know how it's going to happen. But we pray that, what will happen, be it, that's the word of the Lord. We want to thank you so much for your time sharing. Sakit Harris, thank you for those images. I'm definitely going to reach out to you if there's something, perhaps I believe there's a reason sending that, we can have a conversation. And if there's something you wish to talk about, we can do it. LPR here, we always discuss this national issue. Bill Thomas, Morant, my own sis, Hannah, good evening. How is Minnesota doing this evening? Thank you so much, Bill. Good to have you here. Emmanuel, Antonin Charles Pay, thank you so much for your time this evening. Always as usual, McCarthy Johnson, Cecilia, and all of you guys that are watching. This is how we're going to bring the curtain down this evening. We want to first thank you so much for your time with us, your comments, your tweets, your suggestions. I will usually go back and read everything. We want to always keep in our country in prayer for our leaders to do what they're supposed to do. When you see us talking like this and having these sort of critical, sometimes uncomfortable conversation that doesn't suit your taste, we do understand where you're coming from. But it is important that we have these conversations in an open context with civility. And that we hold our government and we ourselves who are executioners of news also be held accountable, because we simply want our government. You as the leader, your ultimate goal is to lead. And when you lead, when you take the lead, people follow you. And that's what we want our leaders to do, because we went down this road before. When people feel disrespected, being put down to whatever way, the outbursts necessarily don't turn out to be good. And this is what we are trying to avoid. We want our leaders to have a sort of political temperament. They should be able to sit around the conference table to sort out, to have a dialogue, to have a conversation. That is what people do in civilized society. You can agree, disagree. It's just a matter of being persuasive, and you sit at a conference table. But when people feel that they should say, they should talk it, and no one should buttress, no one should have a second version, it's dangerous. We experienced it before, and we saw the outcome. And so when we begin to see these symptoms, we have to be bold to say it, to speak it out, whether people like it or not. But our job is to say it. They want to act fine if they don't, but at least we'll be vindicated that we speak it out, that it was spoken. What is going on is not good. What is happening is not right. Somebody could end up taking the law into their own hand, and the outcome will be dangerous. And this is what we are trying to avoid. We have a very fragile society, country as a whole. Nobody will want to do anything with peacekeeping. All of these countries, they have their own problems. Not to mention, well, you know what's going on here with Uncle Sam. Anything, you're on your own. And this is why when these things are coming out, when these things are happening, it is the responsibility. We as citizens, we do have a shared responsibility. But the country has become a country where each and everyone protects his or her own alligator. Yesterday it was right. Today is wrong. Yesterday it was wrong. Today is right. Vice versa. And we protect and we give justifications of bad behaviors. Nothing wrong with supporting someone. Nothing wrong to pledge your political loyalty. But what is wrong when some of these loyalty are the detriment to the country, then that is concerning. Your loyalty must first come for your country. Because you know why? These politicians, we have seen many of them, they came on stage, they faded away, they are gone, and the country is still standing. So our loyalty must be to our country. We must stand up with respect and raise our finger and tell our leaders, yes, I support you, yes, I agree with you, but this action, this policy doesn't augur well for the good of our country. How many of our politicians are willing to take a political risk at the detriment of their country? And this is why I saw what his name, this other guy, or Solomon, I don't know, Reverend Solomon George. These are the bad people in the country. Someone is bad, someone is wicked, and you stay under their wing for 12 years because you are jobless now, you want to come. I don't give these people credence. It's a big shame. So opportunity, sycophants. Those were the same people who were around George. We are everything okay. Yes, because you didn't deliver to your constituent, they kick you out. And what you want to tell us here? Complete nonsense. Those kind of people, I don't even pay heed to them. Nobody should either. Be the less Cheney, who is at her own risk. She argued, she stood against her party, not just only the party, the head of the party. And what happened? It cost her her job. Those are values. You sit down for 12 years, you represented, you enjoy, you did everything. Now you out of joy, you want to come down, joy, we are just a complete bullshit. They need to stop that. And those kind of people should disabuse them. Those are the people who lead our leaders in the bad direction. But when they're out of it, then they want to come out to be like, well, oh, I talked to the president. You talked to the president. When you were there, you should have made that declaration. I'm this party, but these are things that are advancing. The leadership that are listening to me. I'm going independent. I am leaving the party. Make that declaration. Don't wait until when you're out of job, president call you, vice president call you, and you're feeling talking and you want to come and you think we're stupid. We are not. And people will shame those kind of people because those are the bad people. And this is a clear example, even this administration too. Because we're seeing this thing being played out over and over and over and over. They will never look in the eyes of their leaders. Everything is yes, sir. But when it goes wrong, they say, oh, we talked to the man not listen to you. You were making those bad suggestions, bad policies, bad proposal, and the administration executed, and you want to walk away because you're no longer there. That's shame on you. Folks, again, have a pleasant evening. Our prayers and thought goes out to the bereaved family, and may the minister's soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much for your time this evening. So let's keep praying for our country, for the best of the country. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.